Season's greetings and welcome to Christmas, otherwise known as episode 58 of Tomorrow's World Audit Time. Season's greetings, Mark.
Oh, season's greetings was welcome to Christmas.
I thought I'd try...
Arrogance. You the arrogance. This comes out on Christmas Day. It's already Christmas. And you are sitting there smugly deciding that you are the one. Okay,
I imagine there are a lot of people out there, Mark, who they only know it's truly Christmas when they hear our episode first thing on Christmas Day morning. Like before they unwrap their presents, they're probably, tucking into this.
Confused? Do you think they're confused when they're unwrapping their presents? Why have I got these presents? I don't understand.
Yeah, well.
Do you think they picture us trudging through the snow, all the way on the flat of the Netherlands, up, climbing higher and higher into the Dutch Alps?
Well, if they are imagining that, then they're imagining right, Mark, because that's exactly what you've done, isn't it?
That's exactly what I've done to get to you. Yeah. Your little pied-à-terre up here.
Yeah. And obviously, got plenty of logs to put on the fire. Actually,
I will absolutely be putting one on at some point later on.
Yeah. So, well, it's Christmas again, Mark. It's amazing, isn't it, that it's a whole year since we had all of our Christmas excitement last year, going on the radio, talking to Howard.
I know.
Whole year has passed since then.
I know, that is mad, actually. It doesn't feel a lot longer now that you say it. I was, when we were going through the notes, I was thinking, like, God, this only feels like yesterday I was doing this.
Time flies when you're having fun, Mark.
And aging. Time flies when you're aging.
Oh, yeah, that is also the case.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Christmas episode, Mark. So I thought last year it was such a success, the 1987 Christmas quiz. Why break with the formula? Let's do the 1988 Christmas quiz.
Yeah, wise choice.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot. We have absolutely learned an enormous amount about the show and about their work ethic by doing these in 2 successive Christmases, haven't we?
Yeah. Essentially, they've just taken exactly last year's quiz and just pulled out bits and put in new bits that are the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same quiz, different objects.
Yeah. But none the worse for it, Mark. I mean, we can hardly be ones to criticise anybody for maintaining.
You're right. Who do I think I am?
Yeah. As I say, 22nd of December 1988, and as I do every year with our Christmas episodes, Mark, I have the top Christmas toys that year. I know you look forward to it.
I know.
And this year, I've got not only the toys, but also how much they sold for at the time.
Ooh.
So, at number 5, we have the classic Play School kitchen. They still sell those, but obviously, they've improved them over the years. And it did make me wonder, do you think middle-class kids can get like a Play School kitchen island as well to go with their Play School kitchen?
Yeah.
And number 4, I couldn't find much information about this airless hockey. I guess is it that little? I tried to look it up, but there's like little hockey games where it's almost like, not quite like Sabutio, but like you can move the men around in the thing. I didn't know. I don't know what airless hockey would be.
In my head, it must be like air hockey, but like on a slippery plastic or something like that.
Ball bearings or something. I don't know. I couldn't find anything about that anyway. Number 3, remember these very well. Ghostbusters fright features. You'd move their arm and their head.
Squeeze their arm and their head would pop up and ears would come out, right?
Yeah. And number 2, the classic NES action set.
Wow.
And that was the one that had the light gun.
Yeah.
2 controllers, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. That was the biggest selling ever NES package that they sold. And number 1 is the Ghostbusters Proton Pack. That's the biggest selling toy of that year. But it was obviously, this is 4 years after the film Ghostbusters, so both Ghostbusters things here.
It's not Ghostbusters, it's
the real Ghostbusters, right? Yeah. And it's making me think, it's always funny, I know the explanation of why it's called the real Ghostbusters, because there was another Ghostbusters cartoon before. But it always makes me kind of think of like a factional split, like the continuity.
The real IRA.
The real IRA. Like that sort of thing. But yeah,
we are the real Ghostbusters.
In total, if you bought all of those gifts, if you really spoilt your child in 1988, that would have cost you £219.61 in total. Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
I think this might be the year that... Was it this year or next year where I got the... It must be this year if the real Ghostbusters are, 1 in 4? I think this is the year that I got the real Ghostbusters Firehouse, which came with a containment unit and like a trap and stuff like that. It was, 4 foot high. 4 foot high.
Wow.
Well, I was about 4 foot high, so it probably felt like it was my... Yeah, but like it was big. It was tall, obviously.
Yeah.
But I really wanted Ecto 1, Ross. I really wanted Ecto 1.
Yeah.
Didn't get it. Yeah. It was very good, though. I did enjoy that fire. It was bloody big, though. And it had a little pole they would go down.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, it was. It was good. It was good. It was great. I mean, it was it was an upgrade. But I kind of wanted Ecto 1, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I always wonder whether this is I wonder whether like psychologists or psychiatrists, whichever, have ever looked into this about what type of toys children like playing with. Like, because I only ever liked playing with vehicles. The idea of playing with like the He-Mans or like anything that was like a doll of a human or a creature.
Yeah.
No interest in that whatsoever. It was always just vehicles. I don't know what that says about me.
And yet you spend so much of your personal life playing with people's lives, Russ. That's good. It's a good question. I don't know, actually. It's really good. Quick, Google it.
I don't want to diagnose myself with anything.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all we need to say about that, isn't it? We might as well just get on to the... We've had our prawn cocktail. Let's get on to the...
Yum, yum. Bellinis.
With all the trimmings.
Thank you very much and welcome to our annual Christmas bit of nonsense, an oh so loosely based scientific game show that's going to cause a few fights before the night's out. Now, as in previous years, we have a host of famous guests joining us, along with our illustrious audience, and they have to decide which is the true explanation for a variety of extraordinary items.
Well, Mark, not much for you to do here because they're not even bothering with opening titles.
No.
This is such a packed show. It's essentially straight into the action. I also wondered whether the reason they did bother with the titles is because Howard is essentially dressed as the opening titles.
That's true. Yeah. It's a fabulous jumper, isn't it?
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's technologically superior to last year's because it has flashing lights in it.
It does.
Yeah.
You do wonder about the battery pack he must be having to
well,
heave round.
Even more so, because obviously if you look at it now, you just go, well, that's just LEDs. But I looked into this. The white LED was not released until 1996, so these can't be LEDs that he's got in his jumper. So they must just be very bright, normal...
just normal Christmas tree
lights. Which means...
Fairy lights.
Which means there must be one hell of a battery pack for those, I would have thought.
They'd have been quite warm as well, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Weren't they warm to the touch?
I mean, some would say possibly a fire hazard.
Potential death trap. It's a great jumper, though. Fabulous. Love the baby blue. Love the white. Love the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
King amongst men.
Mm-hmm. And his hair a bit more tame compared to last year.
Yes, he's learned his lesson, hasn't he?
Yeah. Probably had complaints last year that he was too wild.
Crazy. Some kind of lunatic on our TV. Dear points of view.
But just in case you didn't see last year's episode, they're going to give us a little demonstration of actually what's going to happen in this programme.
Now, here's an example to show you what we mean. This is a device for the opera singer who's worried his puff isn't up to snuff. It goes on the dressing room wall, and the idea is to keep the ball swinging by blowing. Quietly warming the diaphragm while the overture is playing.
No nonsense. It's quite simply the ultimate in stable trays, you see, for those who are a little unsteady on their feet, which happens to be a description of me at the moment. Which means, of course, that if you do have to get your skates on, you can still deliver your cocktails totally safely.
No. This is actually a kitten's toy. Hours of entertainment for them, holding the ping pong ball like that, and hours of freedom for us.
But one of us is telling the truth, and it's going to be up to the audience to decide. So, Maggie, what do you think?
Well,
luckily, I don't have to do any thinking at all tonight. It's all down to the audience and their computerised voting buttons. And all I'd say to you is you've got to vote pretty quick, all right? So I'd ask you to vote now. Decide which one you think is telling the truth. Judith's kitten's toy is looking like a firm favourite at the moment. But the roller skater's tray is catching up. Goodness me, it's level pegging. Well, the roller skater's tray just tastes like biscuit.
The audience have gone for the roller skater's tray. With the person who was telling the truth, take a step forward. All right, it was indeed the stable tray. How do I stop?
Well, Mark, I initially thought that might be Frank Spencer wheeling into the studio there with a can, and it is sandy-coloured suits. I think we've seen McCann do this before, haven't we? Where he acts like he did it on the windsurfing board, I remember. I think he's probably done it a few more. But he pretends that he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yes.
But he never actually falls over, does he? And I think it's some very, very skillful clowning that he might be doing, Mark. You know, in his acting training.
Russ, I think we're onto him. I think we are onto him. And I was saying, like, bearing in mind, in the last episode that we reviewed, audited rather, he genuinely pilots a microlight.
Yes.
I'm no longer impressed by his handling of transportational device. He clearly is a master of them all.
Yeah.
And as I said, he is the Les Dawson of roller skates. Only someone as skillful and competent as him could make it look like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yes, yeah. And he gives light to it at the very end of the sequence where he very expertly rolls himself into the camera. I think, yeah. But yes, I mean, this piece perfectly outlines what's going to happen in the programme. You'll have three different people. I mean, Judith and Peter and then somebody else. It's not normally Howard. Will give us it's called My Bluff. It's called My Bluff with inventions, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
They will give a definition of what the invention is, mystery invention, and then it's up to the panel and the audience and us to guess or intuit what it is. So, for example, with this one, was it a thing for training opera singers' breath?
Yep.
Is it a roller skater's tray for carrying drinks without spilling them, or was it a cat's toy? I think we differed on what we thought this one was.
We did.
I thought immediately that it was a kitten's it because it just looked like one. I should have thought, well, that wouldn't have that on there if that was just all it was, would they? Whereas you're more impressed by McCann's efforts, I think.
I thought it didn't look like a kitten toy. I thought it was way too solid and hard, and the thing that they would play with is way too rubbery. They're not dogs, they're kittens. They need something that looks much more like they can kill it. And I also didn't think it was a kind of a diaphragm improver for opera.
No, that was
clearly
rubbish.
That was ridiculous. Yeah. So by definition, I chose McCann's roller skating tray, and I was right. I was goddamn right.
Yeah, well, that's 1 point to you, Mark. I don't know whether you need to. You should keep score, Mark, so you win.
I am now. If I'm in the lead, I'm definitely keeping score.
But yeah, obviously Judith. It was our first sighting of Judith. She's wearing some extremely broad and sharp shoulder pads, isn't she? She thrusts herself...
like a linebacker.
Yeah, thrusts herself between Peter and Howard. I think there's a real danger of her taking their eyes out. And then obviously Maggie in the audience, same as last year. Yeah, with the voting public. And I did wonder, is it A, because she's a better person at interviewing the public? Is it B, because she's small and can squeeze between the audience members? Or is it C, she cannot tell a lie, so cannot take part in the competition?
Like she's a Jehovah's Witness or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought D, which is that just like there's something innate in her marriage that means that they're just convivial with members of the public.
Ah, right, yeah.
You know, going door to door, knocking on doors, speaking to people early in the morning, or just they're just comfortable with the hoi polloi, Russ.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question because it does actually, now that it's 2 years running, it does feel like she's not allowed anywhere near any of the celebs. She just can't be trusted. She's too handsy with celebs.
You think?
I do. Well, I didn't, but now I do.
But
the last time she met a celeb, she married them.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. But then also she introduced us to the voting machine, an improvement on last year. A much nicer screen, showing that technology has moved on leaps and bounds in a gear.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a rear projection of a computer screen onto a big thing. Also, with all these inventions, Mark, as always, in any episode, I have to tell you whether they exist or not.
Oh, of course, yes.
Not least this...
Otherwise, how can we do our job?
Yeah, exactly. Not least this roller skater's tray. Couldn't find it anywhere. Obviously, roller skating waiters and waitresses do exist as a thing. I mean, primarily in America. The official term is car hop, which I don't know. It's a play on bellhop. But obviously, they're invented for drive-in restaurants in America. A drive-in restaurant being different to a drive-through restaurant. A drive-in restaurant is more like a petrol station where you pull up and then order and then just sit in your car and then somebody comes and brings it out to you rather than you going through single file through past a window.
Is it Sonic? I feel like there's a chain of them that I've passed called Sonic.
Yes, well, this is the thing. Sonic are still going and they still do have them. And you can apply to be a roller skater. You don't have to be a roller skater. You can just walk up to the cars if you want. But if you can apply to be a roller skating one, I think you get paid a little bit extra if you are. So they're trying to. But
have you painted your nails?
Oh no! So this was at the Christmas party last week. One of my work colleagues, she set up a nail painting station in the office, and I got the impression that she was only expecting to paint the nails of the women in the office. So I demanded that she paint my nails.
Very generous of you.
So I did she paint my nails, and then only after she finished doing it, she said, "You'll never be able to get that off." And she's been right; I've not been able to get it off at all.
Oh wow! Okay.
But I have to say,
diversion. Yeah.
If you want random people, particularly women, to just start talking to you in public, paint your nails, Mark. It's an extraordinary icebreaker. I've had more random people talking to me in the past week than the rest of the year.
The previous year.
Yeah. But yes, Sonic, they have 3,500 branches in America. So that's a lot of roller skaters. And they have an annual skating championship, Mark, which I thought I'd show you a little bit of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I started working at Symes in 2011. She asked me if I knew how to skate. I told her I did. I lied. I didn't know how to. I'd never touched skates before. I was falling everywhere, dropping orders. I asked if I could take the skates home to practice. I skated to school the next day, skated home from school the next day, skated to wrestling practice, skated to work, back from work, everywhere. I had a car. I didn't even drive my car. I just skated.
So yeah, that's fun, isn't it, Mark? You get $1,500, new pair of roller skates.
Yeah. And bragging rights. Yeah. It's probably all right if you've got a couple of burgers on the tray, but if they've got a massive, fizzy drink or something like that, yeah,
I don't know.
Fizzy pop, Russ.
I don't know whether I want them spinning the tray through the air and flipping it over their head. But maybe they're that good that accidents never happen.
I don't know. Some of those things, like if I'd order something and I saw somebody coming along and pulling off those tricks, I would just want to smack them.
Like when you're in a bar and somebody's getting a cocktail made, the barman starts chucking the bottles around.
God, you selfish prink.
Don't get that in Wetherspoons, Mark. Never get that in Wetherspoons. That's the intro segment over, Mark.
I just wanted to highlight one thing, though, which is just a throwaway comment that Maggie makes in the audience, which is, and all I'd say to you is that you've got to vote pretty quick, all right?
Right.
And that is the only allusion to the fact that there actually is a prize for the audience, that these days now, they would spend minutes before every ad break going, and one of our audience members is going to ring.
That's a good point.
Complete throwaway comment.
Yeah.
And it was only after watching it all the way through and then rewatching it again, they don't make a deal of it at all. So actually, no one in the audience knows that they're competing for something.
No. Well, that's I guess, is that more of a... No, it doesn't make it more honest, does it? It doesn't matter, does it? Either way.
I suppose it's a truer... Yeah, it's a truer prize in the sense that the person who won it really won it.
Right.
But it is unfair on those people who go like, if I'd known that, I'd have pressed harder or quicker. Or
Howard said we get a celebrity panel, so let's find out what mega stars we have on offer this year.
Well, now it's time to meet the opposition to the audience, and they are the panel. Doctor Who and Friends. Okay.
Take a seat, make yourselves comfortable.
First things first, Sylvester McCoy, Doctor
dear.
Who.
Have
You
you got
can't
any racing?
leave that thing there.
Ah, yes, well, home, James.
Would you introduce us to your colleagues, please?
Yes, this is Dr. Nancy Lane, who's head of electron microscopy at the Zoological Department in Cambridge. And Jonathan Minns, who's in charge of the British Engineerium.
Excellent. Welcome all. Good luck. You're going to need it.
It's Doctor Who and Friends, Mark.
It's Doctor Who and Friends.
Not Sylvester McCoy and
No.
Doctor Who. It's actually Doctor Who. And we can tell it's actually Doctor Who because he actually arrives in his TARDIS.
He does, Russ.
Materialises on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's impressive, isn't it? I wonder how they did that. Is it a real TARDIS?
It's a real TARDIS,
Yeah.
Russ. It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? Because last year they had Christopher Timothy on board.
No, they didn't, Russ. They didn't.
And he didn't say it's James Herriot and friends.
They had James Herriot, Russ. I keep telling you. The real one, not one of his helpers that you see in the shops at Christmas. It's the real James Herriot.
Is Sylvester McCoy such a non-name as an actor that they have to introduce him as his character? Is that what it is? Or is it just because...
I can only assume so.
Or did they... Is it because they thought kids might be watching and they... I don't know, but you don't keep up the of him actually being
Pretense?
Doctor Who. Pretense of him actually being Doctor Who.
Yeah, well, they kind of do, because he's mostly referred to as Doctor Who throughout the episode by Howard. But the thing that really confuses me is that it's not Sylvester McCoy who steps out. He's in his full costume, like he's dressed like his character. So it's difficult to... Were it not for the fact that I think Sylvester McCoy is mentioned once or twice, it's like you wouldn't necessarily know that he's himself. Except for the fact that you'd imagine the real Doctor obviously would instantly recognise what these objects were.
Of course, yeah.
And would have no truck with liars.
Yeah, or even if he didn't know what it was, he'd just run his sonic screwdriver over it and it would immediately tell him. I think that's the worst thing in Doctor Who, honestly. There's many problems I have with Doctor Who, but the worst thing is the way that they just solve everything by him waving his sonic screwdriver at stuff. It just seems like such lazy writing to me. Do you not think?
There's a lot of problems with the most recent incarnation of Doctor Who. I think actually that's probably one of the least... Well, actually, no, then again...
I don't think it's just the most recent incarnation. I think it's just all of the modern
it has
series.
Been... I don't know. I think I hated the Sonic sunglasses more than I hated the Sonic screwdriver, to be honest.
I forgot about those, yeah. But yeah.
It is lazy, though. Like, Deus Ex Machina in general is... But then, actually, when they try and have their cake and eat it, whereby it does something that is the only solution to a problem that the writers set themselves, and then they make a joke about it. It's like, no. You can't do that. You can't have it both ways. I don't think, anyway.
The thing with Sylvester McCoy here is he's can't sit still, can he? He's the most fidgety guest we've seen. It wouldn't be that annoying if it wasn't for the fact that it keeps setting his microphone off. I don't know why.
Even in the introduction, when he mentions the two names here, like all you can hear when he introduces Jonathan Minns, is just the ruffling of his polyester jacket or whatever. It's quite infuriating. But if memory serves me correct, and I'm sure you've done your research, Sylvester McCoy, wasn't he something like weirdly he was trained as a mime or something like that? Like he was a physical actor. Commedia dell'arte or something like that. Like he wasn't a real actor, he was like a physical one.
When he moved to London when he was 18, he was discovered by Ken Campbell.
From Gallifrey.
Yes, Ken
Campbell.
Campbell. And he joined Ken Campbell's troupe. So they did all sorts of different sort of stuff. He would have been doing sort of clowning type things. Interestingly, obviously his name isn't Sylvester McCoy. His name was he was born in 1943. His name was Percy James Patrick Kent Smith. As a teenager, he studied to be a priest, but then decided against that. So the name Sylvester McCoy was coined by one of his colleagues who was in the same troupe with him, who was Brian Murphy. And Brian Murphy is, of course, the man who played George in George and Mildred. So he came up, he came up with the name Sylvester McCoy for when Sylvester McCoy played a stuntman, and he decided to just stick with that name for the rest of his career. I don't think there's any point in me talking about Doctor Who because everybody who wants to know about Doctor Who knows about it in excruciating detail.
Yeah.
And whoever doesn't want to know about Doctor Who doesn't want to know anything about it. So we'll skip straight to, far more interestingly, the two other guests who we've never seen before.
No.
So we've got the lady in the middle. That's Dr. Nancy Lane Perham, OBE. You might detect a little bit of an accent on her. She was actually born in Halifax in Canada in 1936. Doesn't look that old, I don't think, on this. But
No, she's doing well for herself.
Yeah, although, sadly, just less than a month ago, she died, Mark. She died on November the 23rd of this year, aged 89. Actually, that does remind me, Mark. Have we mentioned that the past 2 episodes we've killed someone or something?
I don't think we have, Russ. No.
Obviously,
no, it's not deliberate.
The episode about comedy, I mentioned Jane Goodall, the chimp expert.
It is.
A day later,
I texted you.
Jane Goodall drops dead.
I said, "Are you happy now?" And something like that. Did I?
Slightly, but I think more.
I might say, "What have we wrought?" It's like there's too much power. Go on, sorry.
More bizarrely,
yeah, within a day.
More bizarrely, I think it was last episode, the Milton Keynes episode. I mentioned that Milton Keynes had Britain's first ever multiplex cinema, The Point.
Yeah.
One day later, it's announced that The Point is shutting down for good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know who we're going to kill this episode. Sylvester, we're going to kill Sylvester McCoy, do you think? I don't know. Or have we retroactively killed Dr. Nancy Lane Perham because she only died less than a month ago? I don't know.
I don't think we can do that.
No?
I don't think we can take the claim for that particular offing. That was somebody else.
Yeah. So when she was at school, her school teachers said, "A woman can't be a scientist."
Lady.
They can only be lab technicians. So she sets about, proving them wrong. Ended up getting a scholarship and getting a PhD at Oxford. Then she worked at Yale for a bit. And then she went to Cambridge and became a professor. So, a bit of a triple whammy of institutions there. Everybody thought she was a brilliant microscopist. And she focused on the interactions of cells in animals. And she also painted them. And she was such a good painter that David Hockney selected some of her pieces for a summer exhibition at the RCA in 1995. And so at the bottom there, I've got a picture of the
I really like it. Yeah, it's really lovely.
Picture of her and her from more recently, and a picture of the cell structure there. Yeah, no, it's quite decorative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big advocate for women in science, as you could quite imagine, with her experiences. John Major, when he was PM, he made her chair of the Working Party on Women in Science, Engineering and Technology. This was set up after William Waldegrave had a white paper on British science in 1993. And in that entire white paper, only a single paragraph was devoted to women. Although it did, it did note that they were the most undervalued human resource in Britain. So so that's why.
Well, way to go, prove yourself right.
Yeah. She ended up getting 6 honorary doctorates and an OBE. So clearly, very clever woman, and wearing a lovely cocktail dress.
Yeah, dressed for the occasion. Love it. It's Christmas time.
Tell you who isn't dressed for the occasion. That bloke sitting next to her, Jonathan Minns.
Jonathan Minns.
Now, I have to say, he turned out to be a very interesting character, Mark. Born in 1938, he's no longer with us, died in 2013. He came from a fairly posh family, not aristocratic, but a bit posh, of like engineers and industrialists. I noticed a few of his different relatives of his were Sir something, a Sir that. But his most famous relative was his uncle, who was Sir Christopher Cockerell, the inventor of the hovercraft. So, yeah. So, big engineering family. He wasn't very well behaved at school. So they tried to force him into the officers' training corps. So he shot his own foot with a rifle. So he got dishonorably discharged.
That'll do it.
Yeah, and then he decided his big love was engineering. So he wanted to get into engineering. But he was a bit of a dilettante. He wanted to try a few different things, while he was young. There's a good couple of paragraphs from his obituaries. I found he had a few obituaries in the Telegraph and the Guardian. It said, Minns was a colourful character, bursting with charm, wit and showmanship, but with great empathy too, for people from all walks of life. He was, his family has said, a one-man party. People fell for him and his emotional life was baroque. Tall and elegant, Minns was at various times an underwater archaeologist, an actor in Paris, a rancher in Mexico, a London plumber, a television presenter, the proprietor of a marriage guidance agency, and for nearly 20 years, a judge for the BBC's Tomorrow's World Award for Invention, presented by the Prince of Wales. So, yeah, he's done a lot of, did a lot of different stuff, including he also, in the 60s, he worked for Gulf Oil in the US and dated Joan Baez at one point.
What?
Yeah. So he is custard cousins with Bob Dylan, as they say. Mark.
Oh, Dad, what? What do you mean, what? Disgusting.
But yeah,
I thought it was Eskimo Brothers or something like that.
Oh, I've heard custard cousins. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Ugh.
Office life was not for him, so he quit the oil job. Came back to London and got into the restoration business. He was restoring antiques and restored a big mansion house in France. And then he set up a business called Jonathan Minns Steam in Fulham, because his big love was steam engines. But the shop not only sold restored steam engines, but also sold restored pre-Raphaelite nude images as well, which is an interesting combination.
Okay.
But he had, via this, he somehow managed to temporarily make steam engines sexy in the 60s. And so he was like a proper member of like the London swinging party scene in the 60s. And we always had models draped round him and all of this, even though he ran a steam engine shop, which which is an extraordinarily unlikely thing to think of these days, because you just think of steam engine, you think of like steam engine, you think of like Fred Dibner,
basically,
or very much our friend Bob Symes.
Bob Symes actually was the other person.
He used to enthuse about the rabid sexuality of steam. That was one of his quotes. And
sexuality.
Yeah, I guess the thing is, like, steam engines have got a lot of things like pumping, haven't they? Really, I guess that's what he's on about. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I've never been interested in steam. Have you ever been interested in steam engines, Mark? I just don't.
No.
They're a bit like Doctor Who. They just have really, really dedicated fans.
Yeah,
who are totally obsessed with them.
You know, like they're fine, but no, they don't call to me.
So in the end, in 1971, he got some money together. He bought a derelict Victorian pumping station in Hove called Goldston, saved it from demolition, because it was going to be demolished 2 weeks later. And this is what he turned into the British Engineerium, which is what's on the little logo on his sweatshirt that he's wearing. It says,
right.
I think that's why he's wearing that sweatshirt, to try and advertise his thing. It's basically a museum of steam engines. It was regarded as the best, most important private collection of steam engines in the world. I think he had a model of George Stephenson's rocket that was actually built by George Stephenson there, or something like that.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah, so like I said, he died in 2013, but in 2002, he managed to have 4 heart attacks. An experience, which he survived, an experience which he described as absolutely fascinating. Which is a funny old way to describe heart attacks, isn't it? That's real. I suppose if he's like into like steam engine stuff, he just loves pumps. So, you know, what is a heart to a biological pump?
Yeah.
But yeah, the engineering was had various financial troubles over the years, and it closed down for a bit. But it's currently open to the public now. It's got saved by that Pizza Express bloke who loved Brexit. I forgot his
Andrew Windsor Mountbatten. I have to say, I've never heard of the British Engineerium.
No, neither have I. I mean, why would you have done? You have no interest in steam engines, so.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I suppose that one's on me.
But I can imagine him and Bob Symes absolutely getting on like a house on fire backstage. You know, Bob was in high.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I don't think they would have done. I think they would have been like the Montagues and Capulets. Well, you know, you have a steam-powered Playboy, and you have Bob Symes
and a funk killer.
Actually, no. What was this? But then actually, didn't he? Bob Symes have more than one wife, though. I feel like Bob Symes might have been a bit of a playboy. Am I misremembering?
I can't.
I mean, I deliberately don't retain anything.
No, exactly. No,
so
same
that every time you remind me of something, I can always be shocked and surprised.
Yeah. That's the panel, Mark.
It's stellar, Russ. I can't wait to see how they perform. I think I have high hopes.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, with that level of brain power between Minns and Lane, surely they can't get a question wrong, Mark. Let's see how they do in the first one.
Let's get straight down to business. 5 points if you can tell who's telling the truth. Peter.
Now, you probably remember after last year's gales, there were many trees with branches that were split but not entirely severed. Well, that gave inspiration to this little gadget, because tree surgeons reckon that if the branch is bound up like this, so the sap can still keep flowing, it can be saved. And to give the branch support, what the tree surgeons can do now is to put that hoop around there, and there's another hoop on this end of the bar which rotates, and that goes around the nearest strong branch to give it support until it's ready to branch out on its own.
very convincing, but very wrong. This comes from Shanghai University in China, and it's to make it easier to milk a mare, a Mongolian mare, in fact. Now, a fascinating fact, Mongolians suffer from much less heart disease than we do, and scientists think it's due to the lipids in the mare's milk cheese which they eat. Now, we couldn't get a Mongolian mare here, so we've got a close relative. Isn't he wonderful? Now, farmers all over China are being encouraged to keep Mongolian horses and produce the cheese as a health product. But these horses, as you can see, are semi-wild, and an inexperienced farmer could get kicked in the head. So what happens is that the two rings go around the horse's rear legs. In fact, a Mongolian mare would have rather slimmer fetlocks than Dobbin here. But once on, as you can see, Dobbin can no longer kick out. It's a leg iron for aggressive lactators.
Yes, well, thankfully, there is a third possibility, and would you please welcome someone fascinated by the great British public, a man of letters, since he was once a newspaper editor, and who is now a headliner himself. Yes, Derek Jameson!
Evening. What a load of rubbish. I'll put you right. This fiendish contraption, which I will demonstrate thus, attaches to the upper arms by Velcro fasteners, the left one pointing outwards, the other one inwards, and the idea is it gives you the perfect stance and position for the correct golf shot, which I will now demonstrate. You get the golf club, get on. Ball on the ground, hold on to your hats, and off we go.
So Judith says it's milking leggings for the fashion-conscious Mongolian mare. Derek seemed to be describing a golf swing improver for escapologists, as far as I could make out. And Peter thinks he's twigged it as a splint for split trees panel.
We can't see it close up, can we?
No, you've just got to decide.
If I would imagine if it was the tree thing, it would have to be adjustable.
It is adjustable.
Ah.
I like the tree.
I like the tree. Yes, I like the golfer.
Tempting to think of the Mongolian mare, though.
You're tempted by the Mongolian mare. I'm going for the tree.
The tree splint. Yes. OK, they could be right. We'll find out soon. Maggie in the audience.
Press your buttons now, please. Well, at the moment, it looks like a tie between the tree splint and the golfing aid. No one has gone for the Mongolian mare's leg iron, surprisingly. The tree splint takes it.
Tree splint. OK, panel and audience agreed then. They both think it's the tree splint. Will the person who is telling the truth please take a step forward?
Yes, I cannot tell a lie.
It was the golf swing improver. And thank you very much to Derek Jameson. Terrific.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise, isn't it, Mark? Derek Jameson is somebody who's fascinated me for many a year, just in terms of quite how ubiquitous a celebrity he was around this time, and how it just seems so unbelievably inconceivable that a man who looks and sounds like that would.
Who did the job that he did?
You would do the job that he did. Yeah. Like it's a real, it could only have happened at the time. If you showed one of these Gen Z whippersnappers, Derek Jameson, and said, this bloke used to be all over television, morning, noon, and night, they wouldn't believe you, would they? They'd think it was an AI creation of some sort.
Russ, they'd barely look up from their tablet to even give you a withering look. No, they wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't. They don't know they're born for us. They don't know what we had to go through.
It's a shame. We there should be more characters on telly like Derek Jameson. Well, not necessarily like Derek Jameson. But,
yeah.
I mean, I was thinking. Obviously, there's a long sort of tradition for newspaper columnists and newspaper editors to, once they've stopped doing that, manage to blag themselves onto television. And actually, Derek Jameson is probably one of the least repellent of them that's done that. He's certainly better than Piers Morgan or Kelvin Mackenzie, isn't he?
Jesus! Funny enough, they were the two I was thinking of when I was thinking of Jameson. And actually, I had the same kind of reaction to you, which is, actually, he was quite benign, really, in comparison to
some
of the other people, who have had shocking egos.
Yeah, but obviously I actually had a great fun. It's probably researching Derek Jameson. I think it's the most enjoyable thing I researched of this episode. Yeah, it's quite a character. He was born in Hackney, Mark.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's an unfair question.
Well, I'm surprised there's not a blue plaque on wherever it is he was born, Mark. But yeah, in 1929, died in 2012. Until he was 8 years old, he thought his mum was his sister. It's one of those situations, they used to have.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he was an illegitimate child, and although his mum never told him who his father was, she used to send him to the local butcher's shop all the time, and the butcher would always give him a few shillings. So he assumes it's probably the case that he's an illegitimate child of the local butcher. But yeah, he ended up growing up in a children's home and had to share a bed. 5 children sharing a bed, and it was all like flea ridden and all that. So just the poorest background imaginable, really. And then he spent a little bit of time in Borstal for shoplifting, but then in 1944 managed to get a job on Fleet Street at Reuters. Mark, your dad's former thing. Joined the Communist Party in 1946. So his colleagues nicknamed him the Red Menace. Did national service as everyone did back then. Decided to leave the communists. Moved to the Daily Express at first, then the Daily Mirror. Worked at the Daily Mirror for quite a long time. He introduced Page 3 girls to the Daily Mirror in 1976. I didn't realise the Daily Mirror also had them. Apparently in the 70s, because they were so popular with the Sun, I think everyone just went, yeah, let's all have Page 3 girls. But then he got moved back to the Daily Express in 1977 and was so good at being an editor, because he became editor of the Express, he managed to boost sales by 500,000 copies a day. But 500,000 copies a day was still only 25% of the sales of that newspaper. Yeah. They then decided to launch the Daily Star in 1978, and he became editor-in-chief of that. So he was very much involved in the promotion of it and stuff like that, and coming up with how the Daily Star was going to... who they're going to aim for, and essentially he decided to aim for the lowest common denominator, even lower than the Sun. And his quote was, "This new newspaper is released. The Daily Star is going to be tits, bums, QPR, and roll your own fags."
QPR.
I don't know why QPR. Are they a notoriously down market football team?
Well, it's Shepherd's Bush, right? It's an odd team to highlight as that's my reference point. Yeah,
but it worked.
Roll your own fans.
Worked on launch. They were selling 1 million copies a day straight off the bat there. But yeah, so by this point he's got real reputation. He could boost newspaper circulations. So Murdoch poached him and hired him as editor of the News of the World in 1981. But then ended up firing him in 1984 because. If you know about this story, I never even heard about this story. The Australian Prime Minister, Harold Holt, in 1967, disappeared from a beach in Australia and never to be seen again.
He's never been seen, yeah.
And in 1984, there was a book that came out, which I think the News of the World either featured or reported on. And that book claimed that Harold Holt was a Chinese communist spy. And actually what had happened is he'd swum out to sea and climbed into a Chinese submarine and defected to China. And Rupert Murdoch was so incensed by that because the Murdoch family were big friends with the Holt family. He was so incensed that his friends would be accused of being a communist spy that he sacked Jameson.
Wow.
But yeah, at this point, Jameson was quite a well-known character, obviously, because he's very different to a lot of people in the media. Private Eye referred to him as Sid Yobbo, and the Radio 4 show Weekending used to pick on him a bit. And one of the jokes they said was he's so ignorant he thought erudite was a type of glue, which incensed Jameson so much he sued the BBC. But the judge ruled that it was fair comment because they're only you're just taking a mickey. No one.
Satire.
Satire. Yeah. So it cost Jameson £75,000 in costs. But immediately after that, the BBC Two hired him for a TV programme. So I don't know whether they felt sorry for him or whether they just liked the cut of his jib at the court case or something.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, the programme he presented was "Do They Mean Us?", which is where his famous catchphrase comes from. "Do they mean us? They surely do."
Do they mean us?
And I'd never seen "Do They Mean Us?" I don't know. Have you seen in it at all?
I don't think so, no. I'm aware of that phrase. Do they mean us? They surely do.
It's a tremendous idea for a programme. They should definitely bring it back. I watched a few little bits and pieces from it. All it is it's a clip show. Jameson's in the studio and he's just introducing clips. But it's how foreigners view Britain. So it's clips from foreign TV, like foreign news programmes or documentaries or whatever. Or comedy programmes, and each episode's about different aspects of British culture, and it shows how foreign people see us. And then obviously Jameson's, commenting on the clips and stuff. So it's got that it's a great balance because it's got obviously we're watching it laughing at the funny foreigners, but then also it's quite insightful to see how the funny foreigners laugh at us and how we're perceived. Yeah. It's a great idea for a programme, and obviously with this catchphrase. You'll be delighted to hear, Mark, that it led to Derek Jameson releasing a novelty single, which was released at Christmas in 1986. There was an A-side and a B-side. The B-side was a song called "Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus." So that was a Christmassy song. I could not find any trace of that online at all. So I'm afraid I can't play that for you.
Oh no!
But I can play the A-side.
Media, right?
Can play the A-side. Yep. Which is not Christmassy at all, and is of course titled "Do They Mean Us?" So let's have a little listen to that.
Now my old mum, God bless her, she had this dream for me. Go out, my son, and tell them the way it ought to be. Be bold, be brave, be honest, the best in all the land. Don't talk a load of cobblers. They don't understand. Hang about, leave it out, do not make a fuss. Show your British bottle and say, do they need us?
Great, isn't it?
Do you know, it's not as bad as I expected, to be honest.
The other thing...
It's very Christmassy, though.
It is a shame that we didn't hear the B-side, because the one other fact I found out about the B-side... is that when Chris Morris was at Radio 1, he once played it purely to bemuse his listeners. So I don't, you can only imagine what it sounds like.
But yeah, it's not uncooked and bombed somewhere.
I don't know. But yeah, I'll just have a look at that actually. So despite he didn't really have, well, no, he did actually have more of a TV career. So when Wogan used to go away, they'd get people to sit in for him. I always remember Sue Lawley doing it, but. Derek Jameson was one of the people who would also sit in for Terry Wogan. There's a clip of him interviewing Johnny Cash on YouTube. If you which is a meeting of two distinctly very different people. Also took over from Ken Bruce on the Radio 2 Breakfast Show in 1986. And I just think it's funny that you've got Ken Bruce and Terry Wogan, two broadcasters known for their sort of quite relaxing, smooth. Radio professional type voices. Both being replaced by Derek Jameson. Married 3 times, so there's hope for us all, Mark. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm married once. What do you mean there's hope for us all?
What I mean is that 3 different women took one look at took one look at Derek Jameson and thought, I love some of that.
Oh, does he mean me? I think he surely does.
Yeah. So that's Derek Jameson. So he obviously demonstrates to us the item that actually this brace thing that and you're absolutely correct. The second that he's demonstrating it as a golf thing, as you said last year. Anything to
Agnew's dictum. Shall I just replay what I said last year? Just put the clip in here. Because all I did was copy and paste it in. Yeah. The second that Judith appeared with a golf buggy, I instantly stopped listening to the rest of the segment. It was a thing to help your swing. No sport or entertainment is as brilliantly and efficiently calibrated to liberate money from principally men than golf. Anything that offers the snake oil of a better swing is A, going to exist, B, be expensive, C, fly off the shelves, and we can now answer that, D, be a successful answer on the Tomorrow's World Christmas quiz.
Yeah, so just swap out Judith for Derek Jameson there, and that's exactly...
I literally just copied and pasted from last year.
Yeah. Yeah, so no surprise that it was the golf swing thing.
Yeah.
It couldn't. I mean, and we both obviously went for it. It couldn't possibly be.
Of course we did.
Couldn't possibly be the tree branch brace, because it would only work if the tree branches were exactly that width apart.
Yeah. Josie made that observation. It's like that just doesn't make any sense. And you know, and then when you even think about like if you did manage to support, it's like the idea that a slightly poorly branch can be supported by a healthier one above it. It's like, well, often the ones above it are smaller, aren't they? They're not bigger. Anyway, it's just nonsense.
And then obviously the sort of leg irons for a.
Oh God, yeah.
For a horse. No, what you call it? Oh, no, Judith says it's a leg iron for aggressive lactators, which I thought was interesting.
She did say that.
Yeah, it sounds like something.
Which, you know, no kink shaming, obviously, on this podcast. Please, fill your boots. But that was particularly... I quite like this sentence. Can we just talk about Dobbin? Because Dobbin comes in, and it is a reminder, as prevalent as Derek Jameson was on television back then, his presence on TV was nowhere near as prevalent. It was nowhere near as often as just any pantomime horse appearing on anything at any time.
No. Yeah.
When was the last time you saw a pantomime horse on? I'm not even sure pantomime horses are in pantomime anymore.
No,
they have vanished.
They have, haven't
and
they?
And the thing about this is, like, she refers Judith refers to Dobbin as a he, even though Dobbin I think is female coded, not least because it has ribbons in its hair.
Well,
but
and
as
also,
I said to you, it's like, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, and also she's milking.
What are you milking, Judith? What the fuck are you milking, Judith?
Yeah, but nice to have 2 episodes in a row where the dangers of being booted in the head while trying to milk an animal are.
Well, it's almost like a call and response. It's almost like, you know, we are watching, you know, that Tomorrow's World was meant to be watched the way we're auditing it, and that this is a response to the concerns they had from the previous episode.
Yeah. I bet Maggie looked at those irons and thought, oh, wish I'd had those in Milton Keynes in 1985.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think you could, if you chained up the back legs of a horse like that. I think it might, unbalance it a bit, and also horses, I think, can buck both their feet at the same time. Donkeys certainly can, can't they? Don't know why a horse couldn't do. I mean, horses are normally better at donkeys at most things. Neither the panel nor the audience get it right, though, do they?
No, shockingly. It's like they didn't listen to me last year.
They've yet to learn Agnew's dictum.
Yes, they have. Yeah. It's to be fair, it's a hard-learned truth that, you know, you must suffer before you realise.
Terrific start. No points each. Let's carry on. And this time the audience will get the first decision. Judith.
This device was designed at the Physiology Department of University College London to give the thumbs up to road safety, literally. Because this box of electronics is attached to this plastic teat, which in turn attaches to the side of your steering wheel. Now imagine that I'm cruising along the motorway listening to some lovely music, and I'll switch it on, and as long as the foot-tapping tunes also keep my thumb moving, all is well. But if I become distracted or start to nod off, the electronics in the box sense my lack of rhythm and produce that piercing alarm to jolt me awake.
Well, I have to say that Judith is, of course, absolutely right. It was invented at University College. But it's a simple and effective way for doctors to see if newborn babies are sucking properly. Now, when it's switched on, and if this bulb is not depressed, then the alarm goes off. But if a baby is sucking properly, like that, you see, then it means that the bulb is depressed and the alarm doesn't go off. Doctors have found that by counting how many times the buzzer goes off in a minute, they can work out the exact quantity of extra food the baby needs until it learns to suck properly.
Yes, well, if you thought little of those, consider the explanation of our next guests. A duo, a unique double act that fit together like a chain and sprocket. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Hinge and Brackets.
Sorry, that won't do, Hilda. You've got it all wrong. You need to develop muscle tone in your fingers. I have just the thing here for you.
She's overexcited, you know.
Now, this little thing is a biofeedback gadget.
Is
now,
it? Oh.
While you're watching television or something, you see, You press it with your fingers, alternately one after the other, give them plenty of exercise, and if you stop, you see, that's what happens.
Fascinating.
I understand these things because, as you know, my grandfather was quite a well-known inventor.
Her grandfather was an inventor, yes.
Yes, remember the gas blanket?
I do, yes. Burnt down 3 houses before he got it right.
And of course his final invention.
Oh, that was terribly sad.
Yes.
The self-buttoning spats.
Right.
Yes, they chewed his leg off.
Of course, if he had this little gadget, he'd probably become a millionaire, wouldn't he?
Probably.
So it's a digital exerciser for poorly tuned brackets, Peter's meal ticket for babies with poor suck, or it monitors Judith's hand jive as Judith hand drives. The audience's turn to decide first. Maggie.
Well, they all look a bit blank to me. Yes, difficult one this, isn't it? But vote now. Well, the finger exerciser is doing well at the moment. Baby sucker overtaking it now. Dramatically, I would say. 67% reckon it's the baby sucker, and that takes it.
Right, the baby sucker it is for the audience. The panel, Doctor Who and friends.
The thing is, the baby one, we think the baby might swallow it and die. And that might not be a good thing. It might work, but unless but that would worry us. And doing that all the way up the motorway, you're bound to crash.
For a finger exerciser, perhaps?
On the motorway?
Definitely. No, not the first one, the third one.
The third one.
More
Yes, we go
likely,
for the third
perhaps.
one.
Hinge and brackets finger exerciser, eh? OK, well, the audience and panel disagree. Let's see if there are points here. Will the person who is telling the truth own up?
I was telling the truth.
It was
and
Judith.
nothing but the truth.
Judith's device for staying awake in the car.
Well, the stars keep on coming, Mark. Hinge and bracket.
I know.
It's funny, like, I obviously completely remember them very clearly, but I actually couldn't tell you anything what their act was like or anything like that.
No.
That. Yeah, it's that. just
kind of how I remembered it, right?
Two sort of old ladies bickering, I guess, sort of in a slightly sort of old-fashioned entertainment kind of way. Obviously, at no point did I find them funny.
No.
I did find a clip, because they did have a TV show.
They did. Because that was a question I think we both had at the same time. Which is
Yeah.
like, were they just guests or did they have their own show?
They had 3 different BBC TV series between 1977 and 1985, which they wrote alongside Giles Brandreth.
Golly.
Who I imagine is probably very jealous of Howard's jumper if he sees this. I'd looked at, so the absolute top hit, I won't play it because it's not very good. The top hit for a Hinge and bracket like sort of sketch is Hinge on the phone, and it's telling a joke, and it is not in the slightest bit funny whatsoever. But there's loads of people commenting underneath going, "Oh, we don't get some comedy like this anymore." This is my favourite. This is my favourite joke of all time.
Wow,
all of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You grow up and you reflect back and you go, they were definitely coded as comedians, but I don't remember them being funny.
No.
My parents finding them funny. Anyone finding them funny,
No.
and yet. They were not. We're not talking Jameson levels of ever presence, but they were pretty. I recognised them instantly.
Yeah.
And if you showed me a picture, I'd know their names are a Hinge and bracket.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know which is which. I would assume they followed the Ant and Dec rule, except for the fact that in this particular thing, they swap places halfway through.
Yes, yeah. Not just swap sides. They actually one seated and one standing, and they swapped the seating and standing, and I'm not sure why.
They do, yeah.
Don't know whether it indicates that that bit was recorded at a different time. I don't know. The thing with them though, because they're playing it fairly straight, like in terms of like they're not caricatures. They really do look like women, particularly the bracket, the one standing up, the dark-haired one. I don't think you can really tell that's a man at all, really. But they used to fool people quite a lot, like especially older people who watched them and just think it was 2 old bickering ladies. They apparently once appeared on a bill at a cabaret with Dame Peggy Ashcroft and Dame Flora Robertson, 2 very famous actresses, and they just thought they were 2 bickering lesbians. They had no idea that they were actually blokes underneath. Oh, and also a big favourite of the Queen Mother. God bless your mum.
Really?
Yes, yeah. She loved them.
Really? Did she now?
Yeah. But I have put at the bottom of the thing what they looked like when they weren't dressed as Hinge and Bracket. So
Is that them?
Yeah.
Do you know, I looked at that and I thought it looks like it. I was thinking I couldn't work out what it was, and I was thinking like, oh, it almost looks like this is how, the police were cleverly could see through Carlos the Jackal's disguise. And this is what he really looked. You know what I mean? It's like it's one of those like, can you believe this guy thought he could get through customs without being stopped?
Yeah,
that was Hinge and Bracket.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the one on the left with the big curly hair.
Yeah,
that's George Logan, and he played Dr. Evadne Hinge. And then the one on the right, Patrick Fife, and he played Dame Hilda Bracket, which is the blonde one. They started in the 70s, and yeah, they had a number of Radio 4 shows in the 70s and 80s, and then obviously 3 BBC TV series. But sadly, Fife died of cancer in 2002, so they had to hang up the dresses then. Besides seeing Hinge and Bracket, Mark, this is, I think, my least favourite invention of the show because it just seems like I just don't believe it's anything. I don't believe it's any of the things they say
real.
it is.
It's not real.
And I don't believe it is the thing that they do say it is.
No, it's not real. It's nonsense. It's actually frustrating, this segment.
Because they've got it's a box that makes a beep with a wire coming out of it, and then on the end of the wire is like a teat, a rubbery teat, which needs to be squeezed repeatedly, and if you don't, it beeps. So the idea that it's a finger exercise. So Hinge and Bracket suggested it's a finger exerciser. That's mad. Why would that be it? McCann's made more sense to me because that little teat thing does look like something that a baby would put in its mouth.
Yes.
But I didn't think, like Sylvester McCoy thought, that it would kill a baby.
Oh, I love that line. The thing is, the baby one. We think the baby might swallow it and die. It's like, Jesus Christ, McCoy, keep it light.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Yeah. It's not even. There's a bleakness to him that is slowly leaches out as the show goes on.
Yeah,
and I also wanted to. Sorry, I remembered that there was something that I wanted to discuss in the last bit, which is that they have an actual zoologist on the show, a lady animal expert who is drawn towards the iron bars to keep lactating mares still while you milk them. Which, to be fair, is not what it is. That is total nonsense. However, there's an expert in animals saying, actually, I'm kind of persuaded by that one. And they don't even give her the time of day.
No.
And if they go on with the right answer, you go like, well, fair enough, they called it. But they didn't. The two boys gang up on her, ignore her completely, and get it wrong.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But then it turns out that Judith, her first option, Judith in a beautiful yellow...
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a Mini, because it looks like a Mini, doesn't it, Mark? But it's...
it does look like a Mini, yeah.
It's not. It's a Domino Pimlico, which is...
Domino Pimlico.
A Domino Pimlico, which is a... Well, it kind of is a Mini.
The kit car thing, isn't
it? So, yeah, this company, Domino, would take Minis and take all of the bodywork off of them and make their own bodies for them out of fiberglass.
Okay.
So it wouldn't rust away. But they would make really interesting custom bodies. So that's why, if you see above the pictures of Hinge and Bracket, that's some of the other bodies they would do. So I quite like that purple one with the gold wings. That's quite fun, isn't it?
That's kind of fun. That is kind of fun.
But yeah, they're not around anymore. But apparently, this device... What it actually is a way of stopping you from falling asleep at the wheel. And the way it does that is by being the most irritating thing you could possibly have while driving. You attach it to your steering wheel and you have to keep pressing that thing while driving along. That would get so irritating within...
It feels like it would be such a distraction to keep that thing quiet that you would not be able to focus on the road.
And how tired do you have to be to have to take that level of precaution? Like you shouldn't be driving if that's how tired you are.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I think the sheer fact that you're walking into a shop to purchase one should probably indicate that your license needs to be removed.
Yeah, and the cable coming off of it would get in the way of your steering wheel when you're trying to do like turns and stuff. Unless you only engage it when you're on the motorway and you're not expecting to turn. I don't know. What happens if you need to suddenly turn and it gets all wrapped up?
Russ, I don't even think about it.
But I did look into, are there any things to keep you awake that are slightly more sensible things to keep you awake while you're driving? I did see there's some sort of armband thing, which I think works on the... You know how like your fitness devices, wearable fitness devices that people wear now?
Yeah.
They can tell if you're asleep. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how they do that. There must be something to do with your heart rate or something like that.
And probably not moving.
Yeah. So there was those, but then the one I liked was this one that I got a little picture of here, and it's like this sort of bauble that you hang around your ear, and it detects if your head's upright, it's all fine, but then if you start nodding off and your head drops, an alarm goes off, Mark.
Brilliant.
Which that's the rescue me alert system. I mean, that still doesn't look particularly comfortable. I guess you get used to it. But once again, I don't think you should be driving if you're so tired. You have to buy a special device for it. But obviously that meant we didn't get that one right, did we, Mark? Neither of us, did we?
No, neither of us got that one right, Russell. And I'm kind of proud we didn't.
Thrilling! It means, once again, the audience have failed to score, the panel have failed to score, which makes my job very easy, 0-0 after the second round. And thank you very much indeed, Hinge and Bracket. Well, Christmas may be still 3 days away, but we thought you all deserved an early present. And here to deliver them to you is a mystery guest, Father Christmas. That is one present for the audience, and a different one for the panel. Father Christmas is going to give them out, and you can open them up. You can open them up.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho. A present for you, man.
And you're allowed to open that and pass it round.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. And here is a present for you. Ho, ho, ho.
Open it up there, and you've got till the end of the programme to work out what that will be. Thank you very much. Points will be awarded, and Father Christmas will be back later on to reveal all. Thanks for the moment, Father Christmas.
Well, Mark, I mean, last year, at this point of the programme, we had a mystery, this sort of Santa Claus type figure in, and I immediately recognised it as being Sir Patrick Moore. So I'm glad this year they've really shaken it up and got a proper Father Christmas in, and that can't possibly be any kind of mystery celebrity, because it'd be bad if they just repeated the same shtick year after year, wouldn't it, Mark?
Well, thank God they didn't, Russ. How dare you be so cynical?
I think the only thing to note of this tiny bit here is, as you pointed out, how suspicious the lady on the end of the row is of Father Christmas. It's like when little kids see something that they're unsure of and are not sure that they like, and they just stare at it. So that's kind of what she's doing.
It did amuse me how almost to the exact same minute that this same segment happens, and it is followed by the exact same segment that followed this segment last year. So, good job, everyone.
But what a segment it is, Mark. It's
the best one.
The true meaning of Christmas.
Panel, no time for respite. Whilst you're pondering all that, we're going to go straight into a film sequence here and a chance to pick up your first 5 points as we join Bob Symes. And what you've got to tell us is what it is he's talking about.
Nice. Lovely. I still have a couple more to open. Maggie enjoyed it. Dear Bob, what do you make of this card? Fold along the dotted lines and see. But what can it be?
What can it be indeed? Doctor Who, panel, any thoughts?
After sharpening pencils, perhaps, as a way of getting rid of the debris.
Could it be something that you look through and kind of
Yes.
put little pictures behind?
It's like a pinhole camera, this very tiny end opening at the end.
Perhaps.
Some good imaginative ideas coming up here. Let's see if you're right. Back to Bob.
Seeds are terribly fiddly, particularly when you have to pick them one by one to sow them. But with this gadget, even the shakiest hand can sow a perfect row.
Oh, they're a glum panel here. They're going, oh, well, we didn't see the inside of that. No, so no points at all, no points at all. Audience, your turn now. I don't know why you're laughing, because you've got to do the same sort of thing. Have a look at this.
Well, now for the last one. Let's have a look. Howard and Peter, I presume. Dear Bob, here's something that'll be of tremendous use around the home. Pretty strong. Now, what can it be?
Can it be? Any thoughts around here?
Yes, I was going to say a fly swatter, or possibly something to scratch the hair, to make it grow again.
Oh, I see. So a fly swatter, or something to make, a baldy no longer be bald?
Yes.
Right, I see. Well, that's
Wishful
two
thinking
thoughts.
that way.
Any more thoughts? Come on, we're going to get a point here.
Strap.
Pardon?
A strap.
A strap? Well, that's simple enough. Are we right on any of those guesses, Howard?
Well, let's go back to Bob and find out, should we?
Now, these 3 holes should have given you a clue. You see, it fits around a normal domestic plug, like this. And it gives you a handle. If you're having any difficulty pushing it in or out, there it is.
Well, what about that? What do you think?
Well, we did say it was a strap. We said it was a strap. What do you think, audience?
Well, I'm the chairman. My decision is completely arbitrary. I'm going to give the audience 5 points. They were correct. Come back.
When I was at school in Scotland, the strap didn't look anything like that. It was
McCoy there going from child death to child beating. So yeah, nice. But no, I mean it's Christmas here. Christmas is here, Mark. It's Bob Symes sitting in front of a roaring fire, opening his Christmas cards.
Beautiful tree.
Yeah,
so cosy.
Candles, incredibly cosy. I wish I could just step into that. His lovely voice, and he seems genuinely pleased to be receiving those cards from.
He does. He seems really touched. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Oh, they thought of me.
Yeah. The cards he receives have caricatures on them of the presenters.
Mm-hmm.
The first one has Maggie and Judith, and the second one has Howard and Peter, and they're not very good caricatures. Now, only in that watch did I notice that when he gets the Howard and Peter one, the caricature of Peter is so bad that he says, "Oh, it's from Howard and I presume Peter."
Yeah.
Obviously, Bob's a favourite of ours. I found it quite difficult to work out what these things were, though, because I don't think you really get a particularly good look at the inventions when.
I feel like last year you got longer to see. Like, he really kind of held them up and moved them around, and this time you just don't.
No.
So I think it's not a shock to me that we struggled to get the answers, and I think the audience and the panel also did.
And also the seed distributor, there is no reason for it to be flat pack, it's paper flat pack like that, unless it's purely for sending in Christmas cards. Is it purely designed as a Christmas gift? The seed distributor you can pop in the Christmas card?
You put so much more thought into this than I have.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so no, we didn't get it. I mean, you said some kind of pinhole camera. I said
that was my first, that idea of we're doing such a bad job. I don't think we've described any of these for the podcast listener. I'm going to assume they don't give a shit, though. It's not really about, you can't really play along now. But it turns into this little kind of upside down house, and there's kind of a piece of paper, a piece of card that kind of goes in and out. And I kind of thought that idea of to me, it was almost like you're exposing something and then closing it like a shutter. That was my thought process. Yeah. Pinhole can. I was delighted when it was at Nancy Lane's kind of said something similar to me. What I didn't realise is that all her answers in this show are shockingly bad. So, what did you thought it was some kind of insect or spider trap?
Yeah, I thought maybe that thing was like a little door, and you could put it over it and scoop it up or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's the only thing I think of. But because I don't think the thing is, I agree with the panel. You don't really get to see that there's a little hole in it. And the hole is the key. The hole is obviously it's a seed distributor. And you pull it across, and the seeds drop out. I don't think you get to see that properly. So So I think, yeah.
And the second one then? Because I think we both had the same idea. To me, it looked like one of those kind of plastic loop things that folds in on itself so that you can kind of tie it round. Like, funny, the one I was thinking of is behind me here. I've got like a indoor plant. Like, they always seem to kind of come with those. Like feeding or sunlight or watering instructions, and they kind of they're normally kind of laminated plastic, and you know, you can, as I say, like there's a hole in one end and you can feed it through, and it sticks out. That was what I thought of. It was wrong.
But once again, I don't think we've got a good enough look at the holes. I don't know. Because it's a thing for pulling electrical plugs out of the wall. Which once you see
them in, it's clearly for old people.
Yes, once you see the holes lined up, then you go, oh yeah, no, it does make sense. Yeah. Well, they're pretty popular, Mark. Those things you can absolutely, yeah. You can't buy flat pack seed dispensers on Amazon, but you can buy plug handles. Paper plug handles,
or plastic plugs,
So I've got a picture of them at the bottom there. I've got so the seed distributors I could find. There was one that was like almost more like a syringe, plastic syringe. That got very low scores on Amazon because it gets blocked with seeds very quickly. But it's only £3.40. The one next to it, however, got 4.6 stars, but that's twice the price. But it's kind of like a little thing that I think it's just like a little channely thing that you shake the seeds out of. It's not as exciting as Bob's, but then you look below that, and you've got pretty much the same sort of paper plug handle. The only difference is this is horizontal rather than vertical, but also you can label it with whatever it is you've got plugged in.
I liked that. That's a nice touch.
That's a nice touch, isn't it? Yeah.
You get a pack. Says kettle.
You get a pack of hopefully connected to a Russell Hobbs kettle, Mark. I would be disappointed.
Well,
if
what
it's
it
not.
seems. Goes without saying. Well, naturalmente.
Incidentally, my old toaster stopped working the other day, and I thought it's about time I get a new toaster. So I ordered myself a beautiful Russell Hobbs toaster, Mark. It has to be seen to be believed. Yeah. It's gorgeous. It's like
how many euros is that setting you back?
Quite a bit. I paid a little bit extra for a more stylish one, so it's got a nice chrome top. So it's quite sort of like a retro-y looking one, but it's got a dial on the front, like a gauge on the front, like an old-fashioned sort of gauge with a needle on it.
Oh, I like that.
Which moves down, so you know exactly when your toast is going to pop up.
Oh, so you can anticipate the toast.
Yeah, you can anticipate the toast exactly, and it cooks the toast really quickly. It cooks the toast, I would say 3 times quicker than my previous toaster. So I'm very pleased with that.
Speaking of Russell Hobbs, I don't know if I shared this message with you. I got from a friend of mine. Oh. He's the guy who revealed that the Nissan headquarters in the UK had parked in their foyer a Nissan car, but with tank tracks.
Oh yes,
you know, if you remember, so he was in Japan recently. He before he left, he downloaded our Tokyo special, just so he could acclimatise, so he could fit in, just so he knew what he was doing. He sent me a message. He says, "Your podcast just made me blur in a temple." And then he says some lovely things, etc., etc. I said, "Oh, you honour us. What made you laugh so disrespectfully?" And he said, Russell Hobbs' laptop, which makes no sense to me. I have no recollection of that whatsoever.
yeah, because you called it a Hobbintosh.
Did I?
Yeah.
That's quite funny. Zero. That's made zero impact on me.
I think it's near the end of an episode, so you're probably too tired to remember.
Oh, that's probably it.
But yeah, I'd say great for arthritis.
Thank you for listening, Simon.
Great for arthritis sufferers.
Yeah.
So well done, Bob. I feel like when he showed that off to the audience, there was almost like an audible ooh like that.
Yeah. There was actually.
Yeah, I think people would be desperate to go out and get those.
Quite sweet, really.
I think that's all of the Bob we need to. And the music. The music could have given a little bit of it away.
Yeah.
Because it turns out the music is a song called Agricultural Caress, with words by John Betjeman and music by Jim Parker. So, yeah, so there's a mention of agriculture in that song, which is interesting due to the large number of agricultural pieces that we see in this episode.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Plenty of chance for you to catch up. We're going to go back to the serious business now of who's telling the truth. Judith!
Now, most people aren't really happy about bathing their newborn baby in a normal bath, but it is hard work to fill and empty those special baby baths. Hence this, the bath converter for small babies. Now, these curves have been specially designed so that you can just hold your baby in the normal way, but leave it resting in there, and it can kick and exercise while you've got a hand free to reach the parts that other parents can't reach. And then there is another major advantage. You can turn your baby round, support it under the chin, and you can safely soap away without a whimper.
Well, that's very good indeed, Judith, but you've actually got it all the wrong way round. It should be that way up, you see. And anyway, it's not for bathing babies, it's for bathing frogs. Now, that is not as daft as it may seem, you see, because what is happening is that the common frog is becoming an endangered species in this country because of a lack of fresh, unpolluted water for them to spawn in. But this will fit into even the smallest of town gardens, a few pieces of stone, and it becomes a most attractive little froggy maternity ward. Now all you have to do is to wait for a couple of mating frogs to hop along. And it just so happens that we have a couple down here. Now, they're very much in love, and we're expecting great things of them. So let's see if we can get them to do a little bit in here. Come on. Oh! Yes, they're a little frisky, as you can see. But I can promise you that come the summer, you will, without fail, have a pool full of bouncing baby tadpoles.
Well, of course, there is another possibility, and our next guest will throw a point or two in our direction, but we might have to duck because she's an Olympic champion in long-distance darts. Tessa Sanderson!
It won't fly, it's a lifesaver. And this is something the inventors hope will become very popular alongside your local swimming baths or along the river banks. The idea is to make it easier for someone to revive you if you've fallen accidentally into deep water or into the river. So, Howard, are you going to help me?
I need reviving, yes.
Yes, you do. I know you do.
I have to lie down, do I?
I want you to lie down on your back.
Yes.
Put your shoulders.
What about that?
Put your shoulders on there. Make sure your head is in.
Right.
Lovely. And now, his passage is all clear for me to give him the kiss of life.
Oh, right!
On second thoughts, Howard, I think a heart massage would probably be more appropriate.
Yeah, that's all we have time for. Thank you very much, Tessa. So, the choices are, it's either Tessa's lifesaver for the wet and windy presenters, Judith's exerciser bath for the under ones, or Peter's venue for mating frogs, and it's the audience to go first.
Yes, and we're feeling quietly confident that we've got it right. So press your buttons now, and let's see if we are indeed right. It's a close tie between the baby bath and Tessa's kiss of life device. Yeah. And yes, that's what we think it is. We reckon it's Tessa's.
The audience have gone for Tessa's lifesaver. What about the panel? Jonathan, Nancy, Sylvester, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm a bit tempted by the baby bath. It really is a very convenient way of bathing a baby without any worries about the child drowning.
We oughtn't to spawn the second one, but I mean, certainly, what worries me about the life-saving device is the tongue would be right at the back of your throat, and your head over like
Well, you're supposed to you're supposed to do that, lift the throat.
Yes.
Have you ever done it?
I've never done it. That's the one I'd go for.
Your decision, please. Your
I got to
decision.
make the decision.
Yes.
Right, I go for Tessa's.
Tessa's lifesaver. Audience and panel agree. Will the person who was telling the truth take a step forward?
It was me.
Yes, it is the lifesaver. 5 points each. 5 to the panel, 5 to the audience. The audience in the lead, 10 points to 5. And thank you very much, Tessa Sanderson, everybody.
Just before we get on with it, are you feeling a bit chilly?
Feeling a bit chilly?
Yeah. Do you mind if I just put another?
Oh yes, please. Yeah, absolutely.
Hang on 1 second, Russ. No, I'm just gonna put one on right now, Russ.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it?
Oh. Well, it does get cold up at these altitudes.
It does.
Well, our next celebrity, Mark, Tessa Sanderson, one of the true sort of greats of '80s famous sports people, wasn't she? She's sort of like, Tessa Sanderson was up there with sort of Daley Thompson, Fatima Whitbread, all of those,
Solabud,
yeah. Teresa Ione Sanderson, Mark, CBE, born in Jamaica in 1956. So it means she's 32 in this episode of Tomorrow's World.
Wow.
And that means she's 69 now, Mark.
Wow.
Which
top of my brother.
Which I think she's older than I thought she was. I don't know. I thought maybe she was probably would have been in her 20s in the 80s, but it turns out she's...
To be fair, yeah, actually, to be honest, yes, she's older than you'd expect for someone who was a successful Olympian at that time.
Yeah. She grew up, she born in Jamaica, but then she moved to England when she was 5. At her school, her PE teacher noticed that she was really good at athletics, so threatened her with after-school detention if she didn't train all the time, which is an interesting way of going about things.
Schools are different back then.
Yeah, clearly worked, though. The first time she threw a javelin was when she was 15, when she bet her friend a bag of chips that she could throw it further than her friend, and she did. So she won a bag of chips and then decided to become an athlete. She started off doing a pentathlon, but then realised there'd be better travel opportunities with doing the javelin, so she concentrated on the javelin. And her first international debut was in 1974, Mark, at the Commonwealth Games. I had no idea that she started that early.
No. But then she's slightly older than we think she is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Her Olympic debut was in 1976. So over her career, she set 10 national records and 5 Commonwealth records. She won 1 Olympic gold in 1984 and 3 Commonwealth golds. And that Olympic gold was the first gold medal by a black British woman ever won. So that's quite an impressive first. I didn't realise, obviously I was associated with Fatima Whitbread. I didn't realise that they had a deadly rivalry and they hated each other, basically.
Yeah.
But I think with good reason.
Oh, what have you found out?
So the Whitbreads were a much better connected family than the Sanderson was.
You'd expect with a name like that, right?
A family friend of theirs was responsible for, obviously athletics is technically an amateur thing.
Yes, but certainly was back then as well. But
British Athletics would pay them a fee for appearance fee for going to these things, and Sanderson was getting £1,000 per event she competed in for British Athletics. Yeah, but Whitbread was getting £10,000 per event she was.
Shut up.
Yeah, and this family friend of the Whitbreads was responsible for choosing how much money people got paid. So,
I hate shit like that.
Yeah. And Fatima Whitbread's mum was the national coach of the javelin team in 1985. And in that year, Tessa Sanderson went to a sum total of 1 event because she wasn't selected anymore. And Whitbread went to loads. It's outrageous, isn't it? It makes me absolutely despise Fatima Whitbread now.
Absolutely.
I'm never drinking in a Whitbread pub ever again.
Yeah.
But despite that, Sanderson's career wins beat Whitbread's in total. So that's good. And in 1996, she became only the second track and field athlete to compete in 6 Olympics.
Wow.
So that's impressive.
That's impressive, yeah.
Retired in 1997. But she'd already been
retired in 1997.
Yeah. But she, as well as guesting on things, which I remember her guesting on loads of stuff in that way that all those sports stars always used to do. She was a sports reporter on Sky News when it started in 1989, and also co-hosted Surprise Surprise with Cilla Black between 1999 and 1992.
I am aware of this because Limmy, who I watch every now and then when I'm, mostly when I was working from home, which I don't do anymore, he was hell-bent on rewatching every episode of Surprise Surprise ever, which I hated that program when it came out.
Yeah, I never watched it.
No, it's the thing. We didn't watch. I know we joked about this before. It was like we didn't really watch ITV in the household, so we just never watched it. It's like the second she was on TV, it was off. It's like, what were we even doing up in the nosebleed sections of the remote control? There are lower numbers than that. But my God, so there's a whole bit where there's all these schools competing against each other across the entire season or a series of Surprise Surprise, and it's like, it is dreadful television. It's absolutely diabolically bad.
Did she sing that bloody song at the end of every episode? Because I remember occasionally flicking onto it when I was waiting for something else to come on, and she'd always be breaking into song. God. Holding hands in your hands. But I think Sanderson has more places named after her than people we've had on before. She's got a whole housing estate in Wensfield where she grew up, named after her, near Wolverhampton.
Nice. Yeah.
There's also 2 different roads in London named after her. So that's impressive. And
that's impressive. Where are they? Anywhere near us?
I think one's in Wandsworth and one's somewhere else, which I can't remember now. I didn't write it down, unfortunately, Mark. Sorry.
Good man.
And in 1990, she started seeing none other than Mr. Motivator. They had a relationship. You know that?
Wow.
Yeah. But Mr. Motivator was married at the time, but his marriage was but his marriage was on the rocks. So he'd already separated from his wife.
Okay.
So he had
Mrs. Motivator.
Mrs. Motivator. Yeah. Mrs. Jean Motivator. But the papers obviously span it that Sanderson was a marriage wrecker, and so she took them to court and won.
Well done.
Well done. Yeah. And these days, she married an Olympian judo player and adopted twins at the age of 58. But if you look
That's very old for twins.
But I took a picture of her. Didn't take a picture of her.
Sorry.
I
my own joke.
Retrieved a picture of her
from her
Instagram from her Instagram, and that is from a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago.
Shut up.
And that is Tessa Sanderson in the middle. That's Duncan Goodhue on the left, and Matthew Pinsent on the right.
Pinsent on the right, yeah. Wow, she looks great.
And she actually she's signed up. She's signed up to a model agency for sort of older ladies. So you can see, yeah. But look how much Pinsent looks like he drinks.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say he drinks so much as he's ruddy of cheek.
Goodhue looks well preserved, though. I think that's
he does, doesn't he?
I think that's one of the benefits of being a pure slaphead for your entire life.
Yeah. Didn't he have alopecia though? It's like he's not just slaphead, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's completely
slap
hairless?
head, slap eyebrows, slap armpits,
slap everything, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, a bit like Matt Lucas, right? Some of the hints of age aren't present because there's no grey hairs to be seen.
Yeah. I remember a very, very funny episode of the Sooty Show where, for purposes, I think they have tried to cast. I think Sooty needs to cast a spell, and for the spell, they need a hair off of Duncan Goodhue. And they keep trying to distract him, and then like whipping out a magnifying glass, trying to find a hair. It's very, very funny.
That is actually quite funny.
But yeah, anyway, onto the inventions. First,
the l'objet, yeah.
Start with Judith again. She suggests it's we've got this plastic thing that looks to me like a giant version of those horrible loafers that people wear when they go into town. You know what I mean?
Going into town, old man.
With a square toe. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, in their shirt and too much aftershave. So it looks a bit like a giant one of those, but made of cast plastic. Judith reckons it's
purest cast plastic.
Judith tells us it's a baby bathing
item,
which is what you plumped for. I could see.
She convinced me, Russ.
I can see why. It does look like something you chuck in a bath. Yeah. I had that look about it.
I will say there were two clues actually with hindsight that it probably wasn't one. One, she selects the creepiest baby doll with what can only be described as having the pallor of death itself. And two, actually, with hindsight, when she turns the baby over onto its front, it actually looks like water would pool up in the bit it sits in and become a potential death threat. But other than that, it's one of those things where I was looking at it thinking, I'd swear I've seen this. I think I've seen kids being bathed in this. I don't understand.
Yeah, I reckon there are probably similar but slightly different shaped items, I would say. I would imagine.
Yeah.
The next bit, we've got McCann back with an absolutely ludicrous suggestion that it's a frog mating bath. I think this is just here for comedy effect. I also think it's here because last year, at almost exactly the same time in the programme, McCann was telling us that he had a device that helped hold pythons, and he had a live python on stage that he was buggering about with.
To the amusement of the audience, right?
Yeah, and so this year they've gone, right, well, that worked last year, so we need another subtly different cold-blooded animal. So what should we use? Oh, frogs. So yeah, he's actually using live frogs, which he's playing, which immediately escaped from his thing. And that's not a very convincing demonstration to me, Mark. I think that's just there for comedy effect.
No, he exactly correct. Actually, it did dawn on me that. Do you know what? With hindsight, we should have gone back and checked to see who gave the right answer at the different objects in last year's show and see if that pattern holds as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
Too late now.
And then we went on to Sanderson as our final contributor. She comes on and she's wielding the item like a javelin.
Yep.
I'd like to think that anything she's carrying, whenever she enters any room, she wields like a javelin.
Yep. Yeah.
Just so that people go, oh, that must be Tessa Sanderson.
Oh, Tessa Sanderson. Yeah.
Yeah. And she gives a demonstration of this CPR thing, which to me that struck me immediately. That's what it is, because Howard is her dummy, and she gets him to lay in it, and it just fits him so perfectly, like his head and shoulders. I thought, yeah, that's got to be what it is.
It's weird. I just find it so unconvincing, and yet it was exactly the correct answer. Yeah.
And there's a bit of business where I actually, when I first watched it, I thought Howard was the way, because she says, "Oh, I could give him the kiss of life." And when I first watched it, I thought Howard was like, "Oh no, don't do that." But actually, I think he was actually reacting positively when I next watched it that time. What do you
It's confusing.
Yeah.
I get same with you. I thought he was actually quite offensive to his guests when I first watched it, and now it's like I just don't think I don't think he's selling what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to sound embarrassed because it's it's everything he dreamed it would possibly could happen. Sorry, not to juice Harry, but I have turned around because initially I was thinking, he was just being mean, and I don't think he is.
No. Although he does definitely recoil from the idea of being given a heart massage, which is the. Is it really? I suppose some massages are quite firm, aren't they? But is it heart massage just absolutely beating the living daylights out of your chest?
It's railing on someone's rib cage, right?
So
it's letting rip. Yeah,
it's more one of those Turkish massages than a
Actually, I was thinking of places in Bucharest where they whip you with branches. Like in Faulty Towers with that car. No, and I suspect that Tessa Sanderson could she could back up her words.
Yeah, she's got a strong arm, hasn't she? She probably could smash straight.
That's exactly right.
Straight through that rib cage, like that. It'd be like that.
Yeah,
it'd be like that scene in The Thing. Yeah,
yeah, exactly correct. Yeah,
but yeah, I couldn't find. I mean, the chances of finding that specific thing are almost impossible. Obviously, I did find this above the picture of Tessa. Well, is CPR the same thing as giving somebody the kiss of life? I'm not sure. Is it?
Let's just say yes.
I
think so. Yeah.
But this thing, so that bit, so obviously you lay your unconscious person on it. If they're having a heart attack, I think mainly is the main use for it, and that's like an inflatable headrest thing, and you press the button and it inflates and it lifts their head up. Because thing I read, paramedic said this lifts the head up, the shoulders, and a little bit of the chest on somebody who's having a cardiac arrest. What that does is improve flow to the brain, and that improves the likelihood their brain function remains intact.
It's interesting because this is almost the opposite to Tessa Sanderson thing, because in that one your head is supposed to kind of roll back.
So but I think that's for
clear the airway, so that's for
yeah.
drowning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So I think they are slightly different, but that's the closest thing I could find, and that cost you $6,000.
Jeez.
But it is the only device of its type. So if you're looking forward to reviving a few people, if you want to go, roam around and reviving people, Mark, that's what you need.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
If the opportunity came about, I'd take advantage.
Go kudos seeking.
Yeah.
That's all those
karma farming.
That's all paramedics and emergency service people are doing, isn't it? Virtue signalling, Mark. That's all they're doing.
That's it. They're virtue signalling.
Yeah. Right.
I'll tell my cousin Michael that he's a paramedic.
What
a sicker, more selfish person you couldn't hope to meet, Russ.
I bet.
Yeah.
So on with the show, and Peter.
Well, the answer lies in this bulb planter here, you see. All you have to do is to push it into the soil just to that black line, give it a slight twist like that. Notice I'm not bending me back. Pull out again, and you have a perfect core there, which you can shake out. Take your bulb, pop it down the hole, lined up with the hole in the bottom there, and it is now planted at the perfect depth. So there we are. For the arthritic tulip fancier, this has got to be an upstanding idea.
Yes, it is for gardeners, but it is for the orchard. Fruit picking is very simple when all your trees are this size. And as any expert will tell you, if the fruit comes off in a simple twist, then it's perfect for eating. But if the challenge of reaching the highest branch is growing on you, then this is all you need. Because this applies the perfect grip to pull off a perfect fruit. It's a fruit picker.
And now for the final idea and our final guest. A man more terrifying to any TV presenter or politician than any Dalek or Cyberman. This man is a psychiatrist's nightmare. Yes, it's Rory Bremner!
My fellow suckers. Well, as you know, I'm shortly to join the Antiques Roadshow as an exhibit. And I'm gonna sweep the floor with this gizmo here, because, well, if you have problems with dusty old carpets, you know, a hearth rug or Bruce Forsyth's wig or even this bit of tat I was sent by the leader of Iran, the Shah. Well, instead of damaging all the pile by vacuuming, you can beat it and suck up all the dust at the same time. Ooh. Whip, crack away, whip, crack away. There we go. So there you go. If you're doing the housework or just beating about the bush, this is what you need. Howard.
So Peter picked a perfect planter, a case of twist and sprout, no doubt. Judith told us of a fruitful way of twisting a tree, and Rory gave us a president's beater for worn-out carpets, or was it a carpet beater for worn-out... No, as we were. Sylvester, team, what do you think?
Team, what do we think?
Well, I'm quite persuaded by the fruit picker, because it would take it rather nicely. I think the trouble with the soil sampler was that
You think the
it
fruit
might
picker?
very well...
And Jonathan, you think the fruit
I think the fruit picker.
Well, we go for the fruit picker.
The fruit picker.
Yeah, well, I like the carpet beater myself, but let's find out what everybody else thinks. Vote now, please. Right, now the carpet beater is proving to be a favourite all round. I hope I didn't mislead you there. Oh, look, they're changing their minds already. The bulb planter and the fruit picker are neck and neck, but it's just gone to the bulb planter at 48%.
The bulb planter. That was Peter's bulb planter. So the audience, the panel went for the fruit picker. Will the person who was telling the truth please take a step forward? Yes, it was Judith's fruit picker. So 5 points to the panel, none to the audience. It ties the score up at 10 points each, and thank you very much to Rory Bremner.
Well, Mark.
Very good.
What a lovely bit of what's the word? Symmetry. What a lovely bit of symmetry
Yes.
that we started the
Rhymes,
year.
right?
We
Yeah.
started the year with Ronald Reagan's inauguration in our first episode of 2025, and then we finish with Rory Bremner's impression of Ronald Reagan. It's
alluding to his age and mental decline, right?
yeah. Don't know anything about age and mental decline, though, Mark.
Not in our American presidents, Russ. Never.
No. It's a decent impression. I don't think it's as good as Rich Little's impression from the inauguration that I played us in the previous episode. I think the where is better.
Yeah.
I thought that so satisfied to do. I wish I had more excuses to do it in daily life. It's not a bad impression though. But what stumps me with Rory Bremner there is he's not dressed as Ronald Reagan, is he? Why is he not dressed as Ronald Reagan? Why is he just dressed in a tan suit with a crazy 80s tie? Like, surely, if you're coming on to do an impression of Ronald Reagan, half the thing is dressing like him. I mean, he's done the ruddy cheeks that Ronald Reagan was famous for having, so he's put some effort in.
Either that or he's been out with Stephen Pinson. Matthew Pinson, sorry, shit. Yeah.
I don't know. Was it short notice? I don't know. Or they couldn't. Maybe he just thought his impression was so good.
I suppose it's because they were inviting out Rory Bremner and they weren't inviting out Ronald Reagan, if that makes sense. They weren't pretending. I mean, actually, like, it would have been quite fitting for them to go like, oh, and here to demonstrate is, oh my God, it's the president, it's Ronald Reagan. And that comes Rory Bremner. And then Howard goes, ha ha, not really. It was Rory Bremner all along. Like we didn't know.
That would have been better, actually.
That would have been better, actually. Yeah. Again, you shouldn't review something based on something it isn't, but that's much better, right? That's a much better idea.
Rory Bremner, Mark.
Because actually, that would have made the jokes funnier.
I still maintain that the pantomime horse got bigger laughs than.
Oh, 100%.
than Rory Bremner did. Although I have to say, I don't think he's another person. I mean, he does some good impressions. Is Rory Bremner funny? I don't recall ever sitting and watching this program roaring with laughter.
Do you know what it always reminds me of? It reminds me of
laughter.
It reminds me of that Stuart Lee line when he is imagining smug Hackney residents describing his comedy to other people, and he always says, "Oh, is it funny? Is it funny?" He's, no. But I agree the shit out of it. It's like, and the Rory Bremner show is like, it was never funny, but it was always smart.
Yeah.
It was always clever, and at times it was witty, but I never found it funny.
Rory Bremner, though, his name's quite funny. Roderick Keith. Roderick Keith Ogilvie Bremner. Yeah. No Rory in his name at all, Mark. He's a liar.
Liar. Fucking liar.
Born in Edinburgh, 1961, which means he's 27 years old here.
Whoa. Okay.
He didn't really know his dad very well, but his dad was a major in the army and was one of the people that helped liberate the Netherlands in World War II. So, big respect to Bremner Senior there, Mark. If it wasn't for him, I'd be speaking German right now. So
that's true. I liked how you raised your pasty white fist to the heavens there.
Anyway, he went to King's College London and started on the cabaret circuit because he had a knack for impressions from the beginning. And the first time he came to any prominence, Mark, before he had his own TV program, anything like that, you'll never guess what? He had a novelty single.
No, he didn't.
He did, yeah.
Oh my God, Rory Bremner.
All right. No, it wasn't under his own name because obviously nobody had ever heard of him in 1985 when this came out. He was under the name of the Commentators, and it is, well, you'll see what it's a pastiche of, but it's called 19 Not Out.
Oh my God, I can't imagine what this is based on.
They fought the most disastrous series in Test history. In 1984, the Test series against the West Indies seemed like just another rubber. But it wasn't. It was different in many ways, and so were those who did the betting. In 1933, the England captain's average was 35. In 1984, it was 19. 19.
Well, you get the idea with that.
Yeah. I didn't love that.
You didn't love it?
No, I didn't love that, Russ.
So obviously, what that's referring to, I'm sure any cricket fans listening will know about this. When England played the West Indies in 1984, it was such a disastrous test that David Gower, the captain of the England team, his batting average was 19, which is what the reference is there. So you can see why they've tied it into Paul Hardcastle's song 19. But what's this?
Oh, that's what it was based on.
Yeah. And I thought it's a bit close. It's a bit. Surely that's dangerously close. And then it turns out that all of the instruments are being played by Paul Hardcastle. So he's actually playing. He's playing on his own parody song.
All right, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Doubling up your cash, right?
Yeah, I don't know whether that's ever happened before. Whether somebody who's being parodied has played the music on their own parody. I don't know. But yeah, so Rory Bremner, obviously, voices for spitting image like every other impressionist ever.
Yeah.
But he got his own show at BBC Two in 1987 and then moved to Channel 4 in 1993, which went on until 2010. I didn't know it went on that long. But when he studied at university, he studied French and German, and so he's completely fluent. And he actually has translated 3 operas into English. He translated De Celibacy by Kurt Weill, Carmen by Georges Bizet, and Orpheus in the Underworld by Jacques Offenbach. So that's a string to his bow that I didn't know about.
It's impressive, yeah.
Yeah. And the last thing that particularly interested me was that ITV, when it was 50 years old in 2005, they had a TV special where they polled the UK public on the 50 greatest TV stars of all time. And Rory Bremner came number 49. And I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure you want to know who he edged Alan Titchmarsh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To number 50. Alan Titchmarsh was number
Titchmarsh
50.
must be furious.
And you probably also want to know what the top 10 was, don't you?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
So number 10.
Have they included double acts?
Yes.
Oh, that's a cheat. 2 Ronnies, right? Go on, carry on.
Number 10, Victoria Wood.
Okay.
Number 9, Stephen Fry.
Yep.
Number 8, I think it's surprisingly low, David Attenborough. Number 7,
yep.
You can tell this is an ITV poll, Anton Deck.
Oh.
Number 6, the 2 Ronnies.
Yep.
Number 5, Brucey.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Judy Walters. Number 3, John Thor.
Ooh, I don't think I agree with that. Yeah. Oh, ITV, right. Frost.
Number 2, Morecambe and Wise. And number 1, keen gliding fan, David Jason.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So who was number 2?
Morecambe and Wise.
Morecambe and Wise were number 2, and then David Jason at the top. Okay. Not Frost, the other detective thing. That was your man, wasn't it? Yeah.
Inspector Morse.
Inspector Morse.
Lewis. So yeah, anyway, Brumner is out here to demonstrate this item, which I think should have been demonstrated by Sanderson because it looks much more like a javelin.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
He claims it's a thing you connect to your Hoover so you can beat and vacuum dusty rugs.
Yep.
Judith says it's a fruit picker.
Yep.
Luckily, in the studio, they very sensibly put what we previously thought was just a decorative sort of fruit.
Quite a lovely little decorative
thing.
With
golden pears on it. Yeah. And it turns out it's got an extendable trunk, which is exciting. It thrills the audience when that happens, doesn't it?
It's an extender.
And then McCann in his 3rd costume of the night.
Thank you for pointing that out. I almost forgot. Absolutely. What a diva. God bless you, McCann. He's the only one who has an outfit for every different section. I deliberately didn't highlight before. In the first one, obviously, he's got the roller skates. He dresses up as a doctor at one point.
Yep.
And here now, he's like a kind of proper full gardener, isn't
he?
He's
got his welly boots on, his apron. And also makes the choice of trying to talk in a agricultural accent.
Yes. Which he very smartly bins off quite quickly. I suspect it's because he didn't get the reaction from the audience, who until this point have been in the palm of his hand, laughing at every crap joke he's given. they are completely silent when he does that, so he bins it off fast, which is a relief to everyone.
Do you think maybe a large portion of the audience have been bussed in from Cornwall or Devon, and they're
Somerset and Cornwall,
extremely offended by his corn face? Would you call it?
Corn face. Wurzel face.
Wurzel face, yeah.
Wurzel face, yeah.
So,
corn face.
I could see it as a fruit picker straight away, Mark.
So could I, yeah. I will say that McCann's demonstration is pretty decent. Were it not for the fact that you instantly realise that the answer is that it's a fruit picker seconds later. It's not bad. It's like it had me going. Can I also point out, sorry, is that quite a decorative set for this. Obviously, it's a one-off. Each element of the set is actually a point of reference, or it's used in a demonstration of one answer to one of the objects.
Oh, yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
Which I think I like. Efficient.
Yeah, because the stuff doesn't look out of place. No, it looks like it's just.
It doesn't look out of place. It all kind of works. It just looks like like they've got money to burn at the end of the financial year. But actually, it all is all there for a purpose, which I liked. But no, I like McCann's. I think we both instantly knew it was the fruit picker.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly because we've seen them. I don't know. We grew up in Kent.
Widely available, Mark. Widely available.
Yep.
I found the top of the most expensive one I could find here. I put it in the bottom of the notes there. That is the Darlac. Interestingly named for this episode. Darlac telescopic fruit grabber DP116. That's 55 quid, Mark. But look at that. It's both telescopic and has fruit grabbing action.
Yeah. It does look pretty cool, to be fair.
And you could just use that to annoy people as well. Or I mean, there's any
I was
a number of things.
Thinking if we had access to that when we were schoolboys,
there
wouldn't be a cock and ball that hadn't been copied by that at some point.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I believe. Yeah, this is the last bit, Mark.
I know. Go figure.
Last Christmas.
You remember earlier on we gave the teams early Christmas presents to muse on a while. Well, now is the time to find out exactly what they are. 5 points for a correct answer. Doctor Who. Sylvester, tell us what your present is. Have you decided?
Well, we feel, don't we, panel? Must be that is something for measuring something.
Yes, for counting more distinctly.
Yeah, yes.
Press the button. Firstly, you must turn it on.
See it.
Yes, I can.
And then once you're pressing this green button,
over there.
the green button enables you to count. As long as your finger's on the green button, it'll count an object going through between these 2 points here. The moment you press the red button, it zeroes it back to zero again.
So you can start again.
So you can start again.
It runs along something. It runs along counting, something dangling, something. This is something.
It's a dingly-dangly sort of answer. Well, there's only one person who can tell us the real answer. Please welcome back Father Christmas, Spike Milligan!
No, this is not for plumbers who have to undo big nuts. Anybody guess what this is for?
We've gone as far as counting coat hangers.
Yes, you go to the top of the class and jump off. Yes, if you're like Imelda Marcos and have thousands of gowns and can't count them, you just activate this little plastic button on the side here, which puts a beam across here, which you run across the rail like this, and it counts all your gowns, which the BBC think look like socks.
And that is exactly what they described, more or less. So 5 points to the panel, and very well done. Yes, you might well boo because the panel are into the lead now, and you've got a bit of catching up to do. So, Maggie, what did you and the audience think about your present?
Well, I have every confidence we're going to get this right. This was our object. It's sort of a series of grills, if you can see that. You've got one there, and then another one, and then another one, all different sizes. So what did you think it was?
Well, we think it's some form of sorting system. You maybe put something inside, and then close it up and shake it. And all the grills inside are adjustable. So maybe you can take one out or place another one in, and it sorts out a different component each time.
So some sort of filter. Any more thoughts, sir?
Yes, something similar to that, with seeds or stones or something of that nature, sorting out.
Well, gentlemen, that's almost right. Almost all of you are right. Yes, if you have some loose screws, like I have, silence, you'll be hearing my sister. What you do, you take the gauges of screws, say 12, 10 and 8, put them up, there's a little grill inside, as you can see, and the grills go all the way down. You drop the screws in like this, you put the top on, and you shake it, stone cold, dead in the market, stone cold, dead in the market. And bit by bit, they filter down the right proportion. Each level has separated the screws into the 12s, the 10s, and the 8s. Ta-da!
So 5 points to the audience, which means the result of the 1988 Tomorrow's World quiz show is a draw, 15 points all. But we also have another winner. There is another winner because our voting computer this year has been able to identify the person who got most of them right most quickly. I know that a lot of people in the audience got 3 out of 5 completely correct, but somebody voted most quickly, and that person is a special prize winner, and they're sitting in seat number 141. Stand up, please.
Added value. It's worth about its truth.
They fooled me again, Mark. It wasn't the real Father Christmas.
What?
It was another celebrity
I switched
guest.
off. Who was it? What?
Spike Milligan,
Huh?
Mark. It was Spike
Oh.
Milligan. I can't believe it. I can't believe they did it to me again.
Fool you once, shame on you. Fool you twice, shame on you.
I think he's surprised. I don't know. I don't know whether I always expect Spike Milligan to be more anarchic or like that. I mean, I think he's actually fairly restrained in that he does actually do what he's asked to do. You know,
Yes.
You know, without.
If he's drunk, he is under control. He's not overly curmudgeonly. He plays along.
Yeah.
He has a role to fill, and he delivers.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a brave ask, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe a bit skinny. I mean, last year it was Patrick Moore, who's fairly right-hand man. Spike Milligan's quite a skinny Father Christmas, isn't he?
Yep. You body shaming, Spike?
Well, I'm just, I just expect you expect a bit of a tubbo to play Father Christmas.
A tubbo? Is that your phrase that you use? Is it, Russ?
Yeah, I'm calling Father Christmas a tubbo. Come at me.
Oh my. Tomorrow's World all the time at gmail.com. Go on.
My house doesn't have a chimney mark, so he can't. It's true. He can't touch me.
Yeah. But then you have to worry about is it Schwarz Peter?
Svart feet. Yeah, Svart feet might come and get me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more that you don't want pictures taken with people who blacked up, Russ. That won't do wonders for your career.
No. But yes, so it's the mystery items from earlier that have been unwrapped.
Yes.
I think the celebrity panel are given an absolute gimme.
I've got beef with this, Russ.
I mean, right, to her credit, this is the one time that Dr. Nancy seems to know what she's talking about, because presumably because she's constantly dealing with lab equipment, so she knows her way around a piece of technology.
She worked out what it did, not what it was for.
Yeah,
and she very clearly works out that it is for measuring units of something that this device she's given either passes over or things are passed through. She talks about there's a laser beam. It clearly. It breaks, it measures, you have a 0 setting, which obviously is an indicator of your half marks every day, perfect, well done. I might even generously give them full marks based on that alone. However, Jonathan Minns, as soon as he sees Spike Milligan come out with a clothes rail with things hanging from it, pretends like they have said that it counts hangers all along.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? He acts like, that was our answer. Well, oh my God, it's like, well, I did not like that at all, Russ. And the audience don't like it either.
No, they don't,
They can smell the cheat.
Some savage booing. I have to say, I did enjoy the audience booing throughout the episode. It's always refreshing to hear an audience boo on a TV program. Yeah, it's a thing for counting coat hangers. I couldn't actually find a handheld one of these. I could only find I could find an industrial one that I did get a picture of. Yes. But that's going to cost you an absolute fortune, and you only really have that in a factory or maybe some sort of
gigantic dry
cleaners. Do you get gigantic dry cleaners? I don't know, maybe.
Don't know.
Yeah,
in films
like
you do, right?
Yeah. That also uses a laser, so that's good. But I mean, that's going to cost you a fortune. And then the second item, the much more simple thing. I think my thoughts was maybe it was for sorting stones. I think when I saw it.
Yeah, and Dr. David Kelly says stones as well.
Oh, does he? Oh, Dr. David Kelly. Yes, sorry, yes.
Yeah, who was a star of the show with this many celebrities in the audience.
Yeah,
I saw Lady Diana herself was in the audience, showing that Tomorrow's World was one of the many things that bonded the Waleses together.
Yeah, but this fella that Maggie talks to. Looks uncannily like Dr. David Kelly.
Uncannily like Dr. David Kelly.
Yeah.
And he actually, when he sounded a bit like him as well. Like,
maybe
he's probably he looks a bit too old to be Dr. David Kelly. In that, like, he looks like
he
Dr.
did,
David Kelly looked how he did at the end of his life, not 20 years before.
But they don't get it quite right. But I mean, I did obviously. I thought, that does seem like quite a simple thing. Maybe that is maybe that does exist. Turns out the internet is absolutely full of devices for sorting your screws. But the interesting thing is that there's very few that you can actually buy. What it is that people who are into 3D printing are absolutely obsessed with the idea of building screw sorting devices, screw and bolt sorting devices. It's like 3D printing was invented as a concept and has become a hobby thing for hobbyists. And all they want to do is sort out their screws. There's just so many different devices available. And there's like instruction sort of things and like diagrams you can print, whatever, sort out and feed into your 3D printer and all of that. The best one I found, though, I think was this one, which is very satisfying to watch work. Ooh. Look at that.
That is kind of fun.
Yeah, and all 3D printed. But yeah, I couldn't find a sort of a shaky one, unfortunately. So they kind of exist, but not the shaky ones. But I mean, that's a much more exciting one. So I guess that's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So let's go on to Spike Milligan, Mark. Quickly. I mean, a lot's been said about Spike Milligan, so I don't need to say too much. There's a few interesting things I've found out about him. Obviously, he was born in Ahmednagar, India, in 1918, which means he is 5 years older than last year's Father Christmas, Patrick Moore.
Wow.
Yeah, he was brought up in India and Burma, and then moved to Brockley in London when he was 12, and attended Catford Boys' School. And you know who else attended Catford Boys' School, Mark?
I don't, Russell. Who?
My dad. So my dad went to the same school as Spike Milligan. I don't know whether he knows that, but he listens to the show, so now he does.
He does listen, yeah.
So he got into jazz. Played the cornet and later the double bass, and this is his love of sort of music led him to change his name because he didn't like his name, which was Terence Allen Milligan. So he changed it to Spike, which is named after a band leader called Spike Jones. Spike Jones and his City Slickers, which was kind of like a comedy big band where they just used lots of sound effects to the music. Obviously, famously, he fought in World War II with his famous book Hitler, My Partner's Downfall. Yeah. Which I think is one of the great book titles.
It's a great, yeah. I've read it when I was at school, but it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant title.
Got injured and so ended up becoming an entertainer for the troops. And then got home from the war. He started the Goon Show and he wrote the majority of the scripts himself. And this thing I thought was interesting from a technology perspective because he was so obsessed with using so many different sound effects. It really stretched the BBC sound engineers to their limit. And back then you would normally have a live Foley artist, or they would play the sound effects off of records, and sometimes they'd have to have multiple turntables. It was all very complicated and difficult. But around this time, magnetic tape was invented for recording sound onto, and he was an enthusiastic early adopter of magnetic audio tape because it allowed him to do much more complicated things with sound effects, which I thought was an interesting sort of little technological thing. But he became very famous for doing the Goons, obviously, and was under a lot of pressure to write it all and perform it and everything. And he had a breakdown. I didn't know about this. He had a breakdown in the early 50s and became convinced that he needed to kill Peter Sellers. So ended up trying to break into Peter Sellers' neighbour's house wielding a potato knife. But luckily for everyone involved, he walked through a plate glass door. So he injured himself and ended up in hospital. So, yeah, imagine if he'd been successful. How different the world would have been there. No Peter Sellers anymore. No Pink Panther. No Dr. Strangelove.
No Dr. Strangelove, yeah.
But yeah, I know. So he had his Q comedy sketch series and Curry and Chips, of course, Mark. Which the BBC don't seem to repeat that ever. I don't know. I'm not sure why.
I can't think why, Russ.
No. I remember. I think my discovery of Spike Milligan was as a kid because we had the Silly Verse for Kids and Milliganimals, which I absolutely loved reading those as a kid. I thought they were brilliant. One of the poems from Silly Verse for Kids, On the Ning Nang Nong, is voted as the UK's most favourite comic poem and is in the top 10 most taught poems for school children in Britain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Married 3 times. First time round, his best man was Peter Sellers, who obviously must have forgiven him about the whole stabbing thing. Second time round, his best man was George Martin. He lived on Dumb Woman's Lane in Rye in Sussex, and Paul McCartney was one of his neighbours at the time, and he used to come round and play on Spike Milligan's grand piano every morning. Imagine having Paul McCartney just coming round every morning to play the grand piano. Why didn't Paul McCartney have his own grand piano?
I'm working from home, Paul. I've got a job to do. Yeah. Why didn't he have his own? Yeah.
Maybe he did. Maybe
maybe
just liked hanging around. Probably just liked hanging around with Spike Milligan, I guess.
Yeah, it could be definitely worse people to hang around with.
Yeah. Got in trouble with the law in 1974 for trying to shoot a trespasser with an air rifle. I like this one. In 1971, because he didn't like cruelty to animals. In 1971, the Hayward Gallery were going to have an art exhibition that involved electrocuting live catfish, oysters and shrimp. Jesus. So Spike Milligan turned up and attacked it with a hammer to stop it working. You can't have artworks that electrocute animals, can you?
No. Yeah, but you can't now. You shouldn't. You probably couldn't then, right?
No. Well, you certainly couldn't.
That is
certainly
weird.
couldn't want Spike finished hammering it.
No. Bosh.
Staunch proponent of domestic violence. At Peter Sellers' funeral, he turned to Harry Seacombe, his fellow goon, and said, "I hope you die before me because I don't want you singing at my funeral." That was always a weird thing, wasn't it? Highway. Do you ever get the Highway?
Yeah,
on ITV?
I was just thinking of Highway. Yeah.
Yeah.
That really was like possibly even more than Songs of Praise. That was an absolute joy suck as a child when that came on TV on a Sunday on ITV.
It's weird because there was that. What was quite confusing was there was that, and then there was that other program,
Highway to Heaven.
Yeah. A 1999 BBC poll. I've had a lot of polls this time, haven't I? It's good. Voted him the funniest person of the past 1,000 years.
Stop.
Which, I don't know who he's up against. I couldn't find who was up against that one. I like the idea of like the second place being just like some peasant from 12th century.
Yeah.
Worcestershire. And in 2001, Richard Wiseman, who we've had on the show before, that sort of psychology bloke who used to be on the TV all the time, he identified Milligan as the writer of the world's funniest joke as part of the Laugh Lab project.
Okay.
And it is a joke. It's definitely a joke I've heard before.
Okay.
2 hunters are out in the woods. When one of them collapses, he doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed over. The other bloke whips out his phone and calls the emergency services. He gasps to the operator, "My friend is dead. What can I do?" The operator replies, "Calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure he's dead." There is a silence, then a gunshot is heard. Back on the phone, the bloke says, "Okay, now what?" Which is a classic joke, obviously.
I've definitely heard that before, yeah.
That's Spike Milligan. I particularly enjoyed when the man in the audience wins for fastest finger first.
Yeah.
Spike Milligan goes over, gives him a very firm shake on hand, and then he hands him a present, and he goes, "Added value, it's worth about £1," which I enjoyed. It's a nice little comment there. But
Nice bit.
Yeah, nice little bit. Yeah, and that's it.
We'll never know what it is. We never see
Well,
it.
no, he never unwraps it, does he?
No.
Wonder what it could be.
He's a right nerd as well. I'm surprised someone like him would be on such a cool TV program as this. What an absolute loser.
What they should have done actually is he should have won all of the items on the show.
The objects.
Yeah, the objects
Yeah,
on the show.
that would have been fun.
Because none of them were expensive things they need to give back, are they?
Maybe the counter thing, the hanger counter thing, but that's about it, right?
Yeah. And then wishes for a Merry Christmas and sign off, and that's it.
Gosh, that's another one done. Oh my word! How about we crunch those numbers, Russ?
That's a good idea. Let's crunch the numbers.
Yeah. But make sure that when you crunch the numbers, it doesn't sound louder or softer than the lovely crackling fire we have on the background there, Russ. All right, cinema box office.
Number 10, Fish Called Wanda.
Mm-hmm. That was such a big hit, wasn't it? Bloody hell.
Number 9, The Hidden.
The Hidden?
Don't know, it's got Carl McLaughlin in it.
No recollection.
Carl McLaughlin in it.
All right, no recollection of that.
Number 8, Cocoon The Return. Number 7, there must be some sort of error with the website here, because number 7 is also The Hidden. Number 6.
You found it, Russ.
Number 6, The Bedroom Window, which stars the Goot, Steve Guttenberg.
Oh.
And he was in the first Cocoon, wasn't he?
He was in Cocoon, but not The Return, right?
So presumably he couldn't be in Cocoon Return because he's in The Bedroom Window instead.
The Bedroom Window, yeah.
Which, let's face it, none of us have ever heard of. But it looks like it might be some sort of steamy... By the poster, it looks like a steamy thriller.
Do you think he got that job because in Cocoon there's the bit where he spies on the woman undressing from behind the, Venetian door in the cabin in the boat?
Almost certainly, Mark. Almost certainly.
Dirty boy.
Number 5, a film that I watched on Sunday.
Oh.
Scrooged, starring Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah, good stuff.
My favourite Christmas film. I have to say, I'm not one of those people. Like there's people who every Christmas just watch loads and loads of Christmas films. I don't really do that.
Same.
Anyway, number 4, High Spirits.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Peter O'Toole.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3, Like Father, Like Son. Dudley Moore.
It's so generic, I've no idea.
That's Dudley Moore. Looks like, there was that...
Is it like a twins style thing?
I'm wondering whether it's a body swap thing.
Oh, like a vice versa.
Yeah. Number 2, Willow.
Ah.
Starring Valerie Kilmer. And number 1, a true great, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, brilliant. What about the pop chart, Russ?
Number 10, Downtown 88 by Petula Clark. Whenever they re-release a classic song, but they've put the year after it, it's always a worse version than the original, isn't it?
You can absolutely throw that in the bin.
Number 9, Angel of Harlem, U2. Number 8, Two Hearts, Phil Collins. Number 7, Burning Bridges, brackets on...
Do you think, with Two Hearts, do you think that'll be your first dance when you get married?
Well, I was just wondering whether it was Doctor Who's favourite Phil Collins song.
You think Sylvester McCoy was a big fan of the Buster soundtrack? That's where it comes from, isn't it?
Number 7, Burning Bridges, brackets on and off and on again by Status Quo. Number 6, Cat Amongst the Pigeons, stroke Silent Night by Bros. Number 5, Good Life, Good Life, Good Life, Good Life by Inner City. Obviously, Richard Breyer's favourite house song.
Very good.
Number 4, Suddenly by Angry Anderson. Number 3, Crackers International EP by Erasure. Number 2, Especially For You, Kylie and Jason.
Wow.
Number 1, our old friend from last episode, Mistletoe and Wine by Cliff Richard.
Wow.
Always like transposing the lyrics so it was gifts on the fire and logs on the tree. That was always a...
Oh, look at you, Russ.
Yeah. Comedy
look
gold.
You dangerous elements.
Comedy gold.
Advert, Russ. What have you got for me?
So I watched a lot of ad breaks from Christmas Day. Surprisingly few adverts were actually Christmassy. I thought I might be able to find a Christmassy advert. What I did find was an advert that genuinely made me laugh out loud. So I just got that. I don't remember it from the time, but it did make me laugh. So I just got that one.
Oh, hello, Pet.
Haven't you even started yet?
Yeah, but Pet, it's all preparation, isn't it?
Well, if it's not done by the time I get back from Mother's, there'll be big trouble. Right?
Yes, Pet.
So you see, Heineken even refreshes the pets other beers cannot reach.
I think I'm a sucker for dogs doing behaviour like humans. Because that what really makes. Have you ever seen that clip from the Shaggy DA?
Yeah, absolutely.
That made me laugh so much.
I have to watch it every single time. Just the way the dog stands up, just looks at them, and he's just whomp. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Magazine covers, Russ. Magazine covers.
Magazine covers. New Scientist. It's got a picture of some people and a chimp trapped in a DNA helix, saying the elusive ancestor, and also the hazards of heavy breathing inside. Scientific American. X-ray laser. A powerful optical pulse strikes a selenium foil, which explodes and emits a beam of coherent X-rays. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Popular Science. The best of what's new. It's basically just the 100 best things of the year that are scientific. Time magazine. You got Ronald Reagan, George Bush, and some bloke with a tash who I don't recognise, and then Gorbachev holding out his hand. And it says, "Over to you, George. Gorbachev's newest peace offensive challenges the US to respond." Imagine Russia being on a peace offensive, Mark. Imagine that. Fortean Times. Mystery submarines. Now, Private Eye is a good. It's a good in this one.
Okay.
They've changed the title of the magazine to Private Egg, and it's got a picture of a grinning Edwina Curry clutching some eggs.
Yeah.
It says Edwina quits, and then the speech bubble from Edwina says, "I must be off," and then a speech bubble from the egg says, "Me too."
Oh, I get that reference.
Yeah. It's a surprisingly big story, isn't it? Like, it's a surprisingly enduring story for
Oh, yeah.
Quite how minor it is, really. I mean...
Well, I mean, everyone was scared of eggs. Do you think it's partly because it came in the back of BSE?
It was before BSE, wasn't it?
Was it before BSE?
Yeah, BSE was the 90s.
Was BSE like 89, 90? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I genuinely feel like at the time everyone was like, "Oh, that's it. We just can't have eggs anymore. No more eggs." To be fair, Josie's mum had salmonella, and Josie remembers it because obviously she felt like her mum was nearly going to die. So,
right.
The Bombay Stock Exchange was established in 1875, which is way before salmonella. Russ.
Hang on, what's that a reference to?
BSE. I just looked at BSE.
oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Viz Comic has all of the various characters mucking around with the Christmas tree. Most notable is that Buster Gonad has climbed to the top of it, and he's saying, "My massive testes make perfect baubles." And Playboy...
That feels a bit Route 1 for them, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. And Playboy is a gala Christmas bonanza. Norman Mailer on Mistresses. Harlan Ellison on Comics. Cher's raciest interview yet. College basketball preview. And meet the screen's hot new Brit, Lizette Anthony, who you may remember from the film Krull.
Well, I remember the film Krull. Fabulous, wonderful articles. I don't remember what we did for this bit, but let's just order it anyway, Russ. Right. Most important invention?
Most important? Well, if they ever did use that CPR machine and CPR like headrest thing, and it did save someone's life, then it's got to be that, isn't it?
I agree, but you didn't find any, did you? But yeah, I mean, obviously it's the invention with the most importance if it's true.
Yeah.
Most worthless invention.
Anti-sleep device.
It's just awful, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's dreadful.
It's appalling.
Most inaccurate prediction of the future.
Don't really make predictions of the future in this, do they?
No.
Even with a Time Lord.
Comedic.
Even with a Time Lord on the program.
Yeah.
Did it make any?
No. Worst screw up?
Howard makes a few fluffs. He
does.
He accidentally throws his pen at one point.
Oh, he does. Yes. He needs that pen.
Yeah, he does, because he's definitely making notes on that.
He's definitely making notes.
Clipboard.
It's really important that he makes notes. That's a good one. Best attempt at making something boring interesting. I mean, I will say that like the two gifts that Bob Symes gets in the post are both incredibly boring.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yet that is once again my favourite part of the entire episode.
Yeah, great idea. Yeah.
Best use of music?
Probably the music in the Bob Symes bit, isn't it?
I know, exactly same. And actually, I like the fact that it's a secret spoiler. Best or worst use of furniture?
Does a bathtub count as furniture?
Oh, good question.
Judith has got a specially adapted bathtub with the side cut out, so
we can see in. Yeah, it's perfect for pervs, right? Yeah, I'll go with that one. Yeah. Most notable clothing. So we have a few choices here. We have a short list. There's Howard's jumper again, obviously. There is Judith's incredible shoulder pads, and then there are the three outfits that McCann wears throughout this entire episode. And then arguably there's Sylvester McCoy actually turning up in costume as the Doctor.
And Derek Jameson's golfing outfit I enjoyed.
Oh my god, he has +4s, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's quite a long list actually. That is a long list, not a short list.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What is the most notable clothing?
Well, it is Christmas. Let's go for Howard's jumper.
All right, I like it. I wasn't going to agree with you, but I do like your "It's Christmas."
What were you
actually, I was
say?
thinking most notable. No, I was thinking of Judith's just power shoulder pads. I think I might remember that long into the future. But you are right, Russ. It's Christmas. Did we see anything in the episode that made it through to the future? Well, obviously there's the fruit picker.
Yep, fruit picker. That's the only. I think it's the only one that has made it through untouched in terms of this.
Basically, in the form in which we see it, like it's
you can
developed.
You can get ones that are pretty much exactly the same form as Judith. So they're cheaper than the one that I showed you.
Yeah,
that's the one that does. Yeah.
So I think that makes perfect sense to me. So what does this episode tell us about the 22nd of December 1988?
I would say 1988 is an era of British entertainment history where you could still have people like Derek Jameson and Hinge and Brackett on our screens entertaining us, and also that anybody could also release a novelty record.
In fact, can Apparently it's mandatory, yeah.
Yeah, disappointed
Yeah,
Tessa
I like
Sanderson didn't release a novelty record, actually.
She must have been in the choir of one, though, sure.
Yeah, because obviously Spike Milligan released loads and loads of records over the years.
Yeah.
So she's actually the one person, one guest who hadn't released one.
That's very true. I totally agree with that. Yeah. So our tropes then: presenter having to speak over louder sounds. Nothing in this one, unfortunately. There's no niche bicycle invention, which is a shame because last year there was a niche bicycle invention. Nothing to do with oil rigs. Right. There's no suspiciously obvious brand names in the ad-free BBC. There was clear and blatant lying. Somebody lied.
I mean, the whole program.
Well, they all lied. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, but there was something more egregious than that. But yes, I'm going to tick it anyway. There is casual sexism, just the way they flatly ignore Nancy Lane's suggestions all throughout it. Even when the answer is absolutely within her wheelhouse as an animal expert, they totally ignore her.
Yeah.
There are no labs or spaces or filled with darkness and stark coloured lights. I can't think of any Dutch angles except for the fact that whose dad?
Rory Bremner's dad
liberated
the
the Netherlands. So I think I'm going to take that one. I'm going to tick it. No items presented from the gantry. Plenty of dad jokes from Howard and McCann, principally, actually. Actually, McCann was more cracker jokes.
Yeah.
Does the episode end in a damn squib?
No.
Firm handshake and a little bit from Milligan, I think. So that? Nope. Woolard and McCann are not abroad. Were there lasers?
Yes.
There were lasers. No magnets?
Don't think so, no. I can't remember that.
I don't think there were any boats.
No.
And they didn't travel to Shepherd's Bush.
No.
So, yeah. So I only have two things to say, Ross. One, for those desperately hanging on, rather excitingly, this show ended a tie, didn't it? It was 15 each. 5 points for a correct answer. So 15 points each. Really, the audience should have won. I think the panel were cheated an extra 5 points. However, Russ, we didn't cheat. And our scores also ended up 15 each, Russ. It was a tie. We each got 3 answers correct.
Phew.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the last thing I have to say is that was our 1,409th episode that we've managed. Tomorrow's World broadcast 1,409 episodes.
Yeah.
We have successfully covered 58, barreling towards the big 6-0. That means that there are 1,351 episodes left for us to audit. I don't know what we're going to do with our time, but I suppose that's for future us to decide. And because it's a Christmas, I'm going to give the full percentages of what we have audited and what we have remaining. So far, we have successfully audited 4.116394606% of all episodes, and left to audit, Russ, a paltry 95.88360539. So, Merry Christmas, my friends.
Yeah, I'd like you to, if possible, add an extra decimal place each episode, Mark.
Yep, that seems like a really good idea.
Wow. Well, what a Christmas treat that was, Mark. It's probably taken people through to 11s or so. If they started listening to this as they got up,
first thing in the morning,
when they got up as they should do, then it should be about to go in the kitchen, have a little snack, because it's a few hours before Christmas
before your
dinner.
din-din.
So you might be.
Have a light graze, but pretend that you think you're just sampling what's being cooked for later on to make sure that you approve of it. But really, you're just you're just cheating.
Maybe have a cheeky glass of Drambuie or something as well while you're at it. Yeah, or a Disaronno, or
you know all the cool drinks. Russ.
yeah. Or if you're feeling a bit Dutch, maybe an Advocaat. That's
of course, an Advocaat.
Yeah. But I'm afraid, Mark, I do have to go now.
Oh no,
because I've been invited to the very exclusive Jonathan Minns and Bob Symes memorial steam orgy for Christmas. So, so I'm gonna put my finest on and head down there. I hear it's quite the riot. But yeah, I'll report back next episode.
Please do. I'm sure I'll remember to ask you. What a powerful image that is. Furnaces to stoke.
Yep, grease everywhere. Well, but yes, so until 2026, for that's when it will be next time. If you are on the internet, we will see you tomorrow.
Happy Boxing Day.
Well, that's all we've got time for. Our thanks to all our special guests and the panel, Nancy Lane, Jonathan Minns and Sylvester McCoy.
more familiar version of Tomorrow's World, but we'll be on at a very unfamiliar time because we're moving to Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. So please make that a date in your new diaries. Till then, have yourselves a very Merry Christmas. Good night. Thank you very much.